Welcome. We're gonna go for another overtime every time. March to the mountain. Already have marched more than an hour, 12 minutes to get here. Let's see. How long it took me here to get to this West Mount. It is exactly 2:22 p.m. and today we're gonna go for that special IT worker, special dose in the public cybersecurity defense, public cybersecurity defense of the collective North American civilization of North America. And I've been on the march 1 hour and 15 minutes, and in about an hour we're gonna switch to that French, cause we're in liable province, Montreal. So it took me 66 minutes. 66 minutes exactly. 76. Correction. 1 hour and 16 minutes. It is 76 minutes, not 66. Correction. My mistake. Mea culpa. Everybody makes mistakes. I make on the daily, and yes, I did scrub the toilet bowl non-edited. Welcome to the non-edited raw march. Gonna put the backpack. Has between 22 pounds and 44 because I got the jacket because temperature's gonna drop after sunset. So if I'm on the mountain until sunset, I'm gonna go back afterwards and I'm gonna have to put that other jacket on. Auctioning this jacket, which I got secondhand, $7. I paid for this 7 years ago. Now auctioning it since I wore it gold, and to give her half to my anonymous sister, auctioning it for $7 million. Give 50% to the greatest woman I know, deserves to be 7 times richer than Oprah today. We go for that cybersecurity goal. March for cybersecurity. Although I know only a little bit about computers, HTML in a parallel life, I am a super scientist. I design, build, create supercomputers, satellites, rockets, ICBM rockets, and microchips. And in this sunny day, it is gonna grow to 11 degrees. And I'm in corner Melville in Sherbrooke, so we're gonna go overtime every time, all the way to the mountain. Children are happy, I'm happy. Children joyous, throwing some leftovers of the snow because the snow is melting, and they were making those little snow bundles. They were throwing them in the post, and they were having so much fun with that. I said, so many little things, small things can bring so much joy to the children, and I'm always happy and joyous when I see the children happy. Let my children dance in the streets safely and security. Speaking of security and in the public, now I am in the public. I'm no longer in my underground room office and temple. I could have stayed home. I would have got less responsibilities, duties, and obligations. I'm now going to the mountain on Sherbrooke Street, going east. So I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which I would have had in the normal circumstances of life. It would have been different, right? If I would have not had come out, which I love to go marching and meditating and rock and roll style for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, daycare workers, and want to see live stream on the GoPro 24/7 and 24/7 on the GoPro 24/7 connected to the internet. Yours truly on the rock and roll 24/7. We go all the way to the mountain. Now on this rock and roll star, we're gonna wait for that light, and we're gonna of course go another double time overtime, as we always go double time overtime for that cybersecurity today. We're gonna take a little picture here and there for that cybersecurity, and we're gonna go for that cybersecurity as we go. Cybersecurity for cybersecurity of the public of North America. We live, of course, we just learned some more, and of course I'm learning every day, but I just read in the newspaper some cybersecurity connections, of course, with the public, which have been, of course, under scrutiny, and of whatever is happening now online with the People's Republic of China, and of course Russia, more and more cyber attacks against NATO member countries. So I'm speaking, of course, from a North American perspective, because I am fundamentally a North American, Canadian, Quebecer, and of course as a philosopher I do say and I do discuss and divulge, of course, that I believe that North Americans, we constitute a collective civilizational complex, or a North American civilizational collective complex, and that of course my proposals are for coast to coast defense. You know, we gotta give a shout out to those firefighters. They're already on the scoop, on the loop, saluting the firefighters, butchers, bakers, daycare workers, all those involved in the production and the distribution of food, and of course all those, of course, now on the road, from the butchers to the bakers and I just saw, of course, the fire trucks and our firefighters. Somebody gotta love rock and roll for the firefighters. 24/7 for our firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors. And as the people's philosopher, artist and athlete, double A, parallel to double A, Aspie, got out Asperger's, you know, so I might repeat things, say things twice, 3 times, and say things different times. And of course, I am obsessed about certain subjects. There's many Aspies like myself, you know, we have those obsessions, and my obsessions are, of course, geopolitics, fitness, sports. Dancing is my favorite sport, as I'm now going to present to you that yesterday we did the video. We were up there here in Westmount. We were going up there, so now we're on Sherbrooke. We're on that Sherbrooke street, so we're going to go down, and we're going to go up, of course, on that Sherbrooke, and we're going to go around about, and we're going to keep it on the march as we always do, you know. And I am stressed financially, but besides financial stress, you know, I can't say nothing that I'm not grateful, because I say my gratitude 24/7, and I'm grateful, thankful my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. And my brothers and sisters, civilization is a privilege. You know, we got aqueducts, sewers, 3G, 4G, 5G, and now I'm marching for the cybersecurity for NATO. Go North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and go down NORAD, North America. But in North America, I of course include, of course, my brothers and sisters in Mexico, and of course, gotta get it for that drill, as I go, of course, to the sun and shining back, and getting on that X, and getting on that Y, getting on that Z, and gonna go all the way for that little bit of sunshine that we got. Super nice for that sunshine, and of course, gotta give it for that sun, for that. My Pope the King the Sun, that's my Pope the King the Sun, and always shines, always rises sometimes. You know, I get tired, we get tired, but my Pope the King the Sun does not, and it always rises and always setting, always red. And I'm financially stressed, but I'm grateful, thankful. 1, my rent's paid. 2, electricity bill is paid. 3, got food and got coffee and tea. When I go back, I'm gonna give it a little bit of snacks, and thank you for that donation. I got some snacks that I don't usually purchase. I got a local community fridge there that I check out, and of course, we gotta get that check, and it's always something which we gotta be mindful for all those who give for food security, for donations, of course, for food security, and for the get it on that XYZ and XYZ, and get it for that X, and for that drive, and for that do X, do Z, do Y's, you know. So it's always on the do. I'm just not just a thinker. I'm always a philosopher. And, I like to stay active, stay fit. And, you know, this here on this Montreal Island, this is all I know. And in Montreal, all I know, really, I woke up a few years ago, sick, depressed, and got out of depression and being suicidal, and across Canada, coast to coast. That event got me out of depression. That event got me out of depression. Like across Canada, coast to coast. So many things to see, so many things to do. So I'm advocating, have been, and will continue to advocate, blah, 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 for the mass financing of citizens to work out, train, exercise. And here in the city of 2.5 million people, it's like a small island. You can always discover new things, right? Always discover new things, like this building here. I wonder when it was built, how it was built. And when I march, of course, I always do 24/7 meditations on the aqueducts, the buildings, everything that was built across North America, including all the buildings, all the highways, all the cars, everything that we have. You know, because fundamentally when I say that I'm advocating for, that I say support a dream, my dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, well, it's fundamentally basically a call for a public-private partnership. It's fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. And, you know, as a people's athlete, got that Asperger's, double A with a retrograde amnesia. So double A parallel to double A, Aspie with amnesia, retrograde amnesia. There's different types of amnesia. Athlete, an artist, and philosopher. And I just remember moving from a moldy place, moving to a better place, and was depressed, suicidal, started working out, training and exercising, and you know, that fitness journey begins every day for me now. So I always can advocate how good it is, how good I feel into this. I was a bit moody this morning. You know, I hear the news. I want to hear some more gratitude on the radio, some encouragement for people for public hygiene, for stretching a little bit. It would be more fun. So, anyways, so I know is really this island, and I'm a mystic. I believe in reincarnations. Cross Nations was born in post 1776, twice in the USA that way, post 1776 twice the USA that way. So, and I'm that rainbow dragon, you know. I've been open for years. Androgynous, pansexual, gay androgynous, pansexual. I am gay androgynous, pansexual. I rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, 24/7. Rock and roll for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, always for the grocery store clerks, for those construction workers building up and up. We gotta salute. This is the construction workers who build it, and I'm always a fan of that construction work. You know, when I see them going up the cranes, and it's quite something that I really enjoy watching, and I'm a fan. You know, because it's the construction workers that build the buildings first and foremost. All this construction, this is a privilege. You know, so we gotta salute the construction workers. Steel toes when I see them on the cranes going up, up, up. It's like, wow, they're the rock stars, you know. They're athletes, the public workers, picking up the garbage, the recycling, they're athletes. You know, the rest of us, myself with a laptop there and there, and here doing this and that. And always appreciate the services, public services, picking up the garbage, picking up the recycling, picking up the compost. Those three services, right? We got compost, recycling. I always salute and root out for them, and always interested in what they're doing, how their life is, how they're struggling, and how they're doing this and that, and whatever their finances is, because I don't know all the salaries, all the details, but I'm always meditating what I know is today. It is March 26, and I'm a philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, and all I know is this island, the sun, my Publik king shine, and I'm grateful, thankful, and open for business 24/7. Support the dream, the dancing goddess, and the dragon kingdom manifesting for a public-private partnership across the collective North American civilizational complex, across North America and beyond NATO, NORAD, that NORAD, you know. We got that 32nd country joining that NORAD now, and NATO. Well, NORAD is actually North America, but NATO is, of course, part of the complex of North America and the European Union with it. Many countries, well, including Turkey as well, right? So anyway, I'm from a North American perspective, and of course going to the mountain right now. I'm gonna get on that drill, and always get to exercise, and always get to feel good exercising. And it's always a joyous moment for me when I go on the marches and meditate. And I always think, immerse what's happening with the nurses, the butchers, the doctors, the truckers, the public transportation, the bus drivers. You know, gotta give them on the salute and on the salute. And it's always good, and it's always something we gotta keep in mind. Our civilization is a privilege. And I gotta say, I like that statue there. It kind of looks a bit fantastical, and I've been myself struggling, depressed, suicidal 6 years, more than 6 years and a half ago. I was on that depression, being suicidal, and I started working out, you know. So I started working out, training and exercising, and that has done me so much good. Regular physical activity, you know. And I start my workout every time. See the ambulance drivers, we got to salute, and we love our ambulance drivers, we love our bakers, love our nurses, love our doctors. We love our firefighters, we love our nurses, we love our doctors, we love our firefighters, we love our butchers, we love our bakers. If you're not talking about love, I can't rock and roll. No problem, cannot rock and roll with you if you're not saying love after a few minutes. I don't want nothing to do with the body. You know, love is that action. So my rent's paid, electricity bill is paid, open for business 24/7. Grateful, thankful, working out, training and exercising, keeping it rainbow, loving that red scarlet, you know. On this march here, going for that march today, especially dedicated to the cybersecurity event, you know, meditating on everything that's happening, more and more news about breaches and hacking and hackers and all the hacking business in a parallel life. I'm a master at it, but you know, I design supercomputers and try to connect with that parallel life and parallel life and parallel life, and getting on that go as we go for the drill. Always keeping emotion. Sometimes is good, sometimes rest, meditation, but cannot stress enough the importance of regular physical exercise. Has been, is, and shall continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. And having lost weight, more than 77 pounds, and I have been able and will continue to call and advocate for, along with the implementation of my Trinity of theories, to encourage all to work out, train, and exercise. And working out, training, and exercising has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice, as it is, of course, a constant thing which we gotta do and we gotta be aware of, and we gotta put into action, put into plans. Sometimes today I was a bit moody in the morning, and I started drinking my coffee, started saying my gratitude, so I already started feeling better. So when I got out, started that movement, and it's super important to stay fit and encourage citizens to work out, train, exercise, public hygiene. That's another one of my obsessions. You know, we people with Asperger's, we got obsessions to the point of interest. And our obsessions, my main obsessions, are geopolitics, 24/7, rock and roll with it, and fitness, sports. Dancing is my favorite sport. Along with geopolitics, geopolitical analysis, fitness is, of course, the public hygiene and civilizational studies on how to be incurs, because I lost a lot of friends in the past 7 years, made new ones, and lost friends due to Asperger's. Is a hardcore condition, and there's no medication, so for people like me, Aspies, less than 1 out of 300, right? So less than 1 out of 300, less than 1 out of 300 got that Asperger's. So it's always something which we gotta be aware of. And here, what a beautiful sight! Just love the color. You know me, I love that red. So actually, right here in the lower west mountain, I'd love to get my anonymous sister friend, who is the greatest woman I know, deserves to be 7 times the number after 6. The number following 6, coming after 6, is that 7 deserves to be. I'm a Swiftie, don't get me wrong, I'm a Swiftie, but my anonymous sister friend deserves to be 7 times richer than Taylor Swift, Oprah, and yeah, Beyonce. Got love for you 3 to support the dancing goddess, blah blah blah. Dancing goddess rebirth, and getting for that la la la, getting for that ta la la. We rock and roll 24/7 for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the grocery store clerks, for all involved in the production, distribution of food. And we gotta keep it in motion. And sometimes it's good, of course, to get that drill and get it for the rock and roll, and get it for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the firefighters with LOVE, and today especially, but not only, always for the youth. The youth. And I always say, of course, and I have been saying, but to my citizen brother Bill Blair, that national defense starts with the daycare. So I might respect those who put on the uniform, but gotta go change some diapers or not, if not that, to read the children's books, because to the children, national defense starts with the children, and educate, of course, about whatever simple books. And I write a few children's books. I wrote a few already, but they're not published. And of course, if I've been published, to be publishing them for the XYZ and XY drill and XYZ and XY drill. And my themes are, of course, nature and civilization. And look at these. Speaking of nature, here in Montreal, we got blessed that we got beautiful trees like this. And sometimes I humble myself and say, look how big they are compared to myself. I like to say I'm a piece of dust, but I'm a piece of dust who's got Asperger's and amnesia, retrograde amnesia. And I'm an athlete, an artist, and I lust, and I get moody, no longer depressed and suicidal. I conquered that, and that was a hard battle. Almost 6 years and 6 months ago, in 2017, in August and September, cross Canada coast to coast. And that event, of course, made me propel and come out of depression, because I said to myself, so many things to see here in Canada, my country, across Quebec, my province, and so many things to do. So that event snapped me out of depression, started working out, training, exercising, had a few employments, jobs that I loved, but the contract was not renewed, and all struggles, we go through struggles, and blah 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 blah. But here I am, open for business on this 26th of March, still the full moon to me. Maybe I got full moon 24/7. The moon with the sun got to dance just like nature and civilization. And now, as I go up and up and up, ascending the mountain on this, it's quite beautiful, quite strong sun. It's supposed to hit up that 11 in Montreal, and always meditating what's happening now, from the daycares to the butchers to the nurses to the doctors and to the daycare workers, everything that's transpiring in civilization, the construction workers building those constructions. Well, it's first and foremost the construction workers that build it, as I'm here at the corner of Atwater and De Bresley. See, that's the name of the street here, Atwater and De Bresley. And I'm working with this laptop, you know, it's a laptop, that's what I got, and that's what I work with, you know. Sometimes you gotta work with the tools you have, you know. Tools you have starts first with the body, and exercising regularly is great for the mental health, great for the body, for the mind, for the spirit, and an active lifestyle. And I have been an M advocate. Let's go billionaires, blah blah blah, Wall Street, buying, selling future option puts. And if you make $1 million on that Wall Street, gotta give 10%. 10% of $1 million is 100,000. That's 25,000, and 25,000 for food security, 25,000 for XYZ, and we gotta get it for that drill. And super important to give to charity. Super important to give to charity, and of course to get it for that charity and keep it moving and giving on that motion, you know. So get a little bit of vigor with it. I actually like this setting here. It's super nice, just like how the rocks interject and the rocks building, and to get it on that drill. I would love to, for my anonymous sister friend to have this house here. Be perfect, right by the side of the mountain. And now ascending the mountain, which is a system of 3 peaks. Right, you got Mount Royal has 3 peaks and is at the center south. And it's of course the peaks of that south, and it's south in the heart. And this island is really all I know. You know, depressed and suicidal, woke up, had COVID 2020, had COVID in, of course, 2020 February to mid-March, and of course survived. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. Death, pestilence, and disease. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. COVID for me was death, pestilence, and disease. And I've been COVID and survived it, and nothing that I want to go back to. You know, we have a tendency sometimes to say it was better, but not for me. For me, better today, now. 26th of March 2024, marching for cybersecurity, for, I would say, NORAD. Go North American cybersecurity, go NATO cybersecurity, and go X, go white, go white, go red, go left, go right. And gotta get it for that drill, and for that X, and for that white, for that black, for that rainbow. You know, so for that cybersecurity today, meditating everything that's transpiring. I know a little bit of theory, you know. I know a little bit of theory, but I've been connecting with my parallel self, and of course, my parallel self, of course, has that connections, and I connect, and I transcend a bit. And when I connect with my parallel self, who's a super scientist, builds, designs supercomputer systems and satellites, a la Starlink, and microchips, and all sorts of things to do with telecommunications and science. So when I connect, then I get a little bit of headaches, because he's all about science. That parallel self is all about science, while me here, I'm about geopolitics, 24/7 as a geopolitical analyst and theorist. Rock and roll, fitness, dancing is my favorite sport, along of course with the studies of civilization. So if I discuss, converse about my topics of interest, geopolitics, I can go on and on and on about geopolitical studies, and I am a super excellent and great geopolitical analyst and theorist, and actually I got proof of work as an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, because of course I've predicted what's happening now, I've predicted what's happening now, of course, across the North American Civilizational Collective. North American Civilizational Collective. North American Civilizational Collective. Across the North American Civilizational Collective, across the world for that matter. Across the world for that matter. Across the world. Back in 2019 had predicted it. What's happening now have of course predicted it, right? It's 2:47 p.m. Gotta get it some more and gotta get it on the drill and gotta get it on the go and gotta get it on some more, see? That's some nice buildings here, and always like to give a shout out to some of these buildings, the architecture. Always meditating on how they were built, who built them, what decade XYZ, all those questions, because Aspie sometimes we're a bit too much obsessed by details, especially when it comes to my obsessions, because people with Asperger's have different, of course, obsessions and have different obsessions. Myself, of course, is geopolitics, and I'm always happy and joyous when I see couples holding hands and they're doing good. That's give me some hope for that. Give me some hope, you know. I see people holding hands like they did and like they're doing, and always bringing me some joy, and that's what I love. And what are we fighting for otherwise, you know? What are we putting the uniform for if we don't see this? If I don't see this on my marches, people holding hands, hugging, kissing, then what's the point? Gotta throw that out West Side NATO, then what's the point to put on the uniform, defend freedom? Freedom gonna come with that love. Freedom is a dangerous thing, it's new. I'm not able by myself to fight in the cause of freedom. I know very few who do. Freedom is something new we are trying to achieve, you know? Our ancestors, whatever, they didn't have that. Freedom is new, you know? Freedom is a new thing, you know, so it's also pretty, it's hard to attain sometimes, you know, fighting in I know only one person who's able to fight in the cause of freedom. That's my anonymous sister friend, and there's to be financed those trillions, and gotta get those drills, and we gotta go on the sun. See, my fellow construction workers there, gotta watch for their safety, and of course they're going on the cranes, and they're going on those cranes a lot like that, and we're gonna get that drill, and we're gonna build some more right here across the Collective North American Civilizational Complex, and gonna get for those willingly loving, you know, the coalition of the willingly loving is the dancing goddess on the Dragon Kingdom Public Private Partnership with the bus drivers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, and see, that's that public transit, always meditating on what's the public transit like, what they're doing, how they're doing, and financially, socially, and in all things of civilization and nature. I'm always immersed, and always double check before you cross the street, turn your heads left and right to add for that security. So see, now I press the button here. I'm gonna have to disinfect my hands because I open carry my disinfectant, because I don't know public hygiene, who touched it, how many people touched it, and of course, yeah, I got a small place, but it's better than where I used to live, which was lots of mold, so it's better where I live now. Way better, so, but it's still small underground, but it's bigger than, and less underground than where I used to live, was deep in the underground, and smaller with lots of mold there, so that's what probably caused my amnesia sickness. And now every day I'm getting healed and survived COVID 4 years ago. Someone said 4 years ago COVID, or it seemed like not so many years ago, it was like 1-2 years ago, but it was in 2020 when I had COVID, you know, so ever since live with gratitude, grateful, thankful for everything that I have, and gotta get that rock and roll. J'ai déjà pesé dessus tantôt, mais ça n'a pas changé. I already did it. Anyways, hey? Yeah, I pressed it, but it didn't change. It takes a while here. Take care, buddy. There's a nice fellow citizen there smiling. How his day is going, you know, doing this and going about the business, and always like to get a good smile from citizens and encouragement for working out, training, and exercising. And say that LOVE, love is important. Love is also action, you know. Because if I just blah blah blah, love, sometimes you gotta take some action, you know. As I'm doing now to work out, train, exercise, and gotta still wait for the light. It's a decision, now we can cross it. Took some time here for the light to turn, and when actually the light for the pedestrian sign, see, but I got plenty of seconds, like 13 seconds, and so that's plenty of time. Anyways, going to the mountain now by the other side. Is last time we went by the other side, and now we're going by the side of the sun. Always love to get me a little bit of that sun, and Tomorrow's gonna be a rainy day, good day for cleaning, I guess. Still cleaning until April 8th. April 8th, still doing a lot of cleaning, and it's always that book of the law, Thelemites. It's that high holiday season, and I'm a mystic, so many things I don't know. Spiritually, I know my reincarnations and spiritual meditations and flashes and intuitions and my own past lives. I was born a few times right here on the island of Montreal, so this is my home in this life and another past life, and all I really know is the mountain and the island. You know, it's a big metropolis city, 2.5 million people, second biggest most populated city in Canada, and the 8th most populated city in North America. You know, so I gotta go get that drill. There we go. Now I got time to pass, and here we are gonna enter the mountain before 3 o'clock. I wasn't sure if I'm gonna get by 3 o'clock or not. But said yes. Anyways, gonna wait for the light here as well, and gonna meditate. So I made it to the mountain on this 26th of March. This is my second home, and please do not pollute. When you come here, drop it in the garbage. Do not leave stuff here that can damage the flora or the fauna, for that matter. You know, that could damage the flora and the fauna. So please put your recycling and garbage, put it in the bins. That's why we got public workers. Public workers, of course, pick it up, change it, switch it. We got that recycling, and we got that. Now is my time to cross. So now that I'm here at the mountain, spring, officially spring. So I got plenty of seconds left, and sun is shining that strong, and we got these stairs, and it's no longer winter, so now it's open. During winter it's closed because it's dangerous here, but who want to finance? I go up and down these stairs 300 times for a cause of your choosing, with some rock and roll for the butchers, for the bakers, for the truckers, for the daycare workers, for the firefighters. We love our firefighters, love our daycare workers, love our butchers and our bakers, love our nurses. Gotta get that LOV, Global Dragon Union, blah 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 blah. Look at this beautiful island here. We made it to the top, and here it is. We made it to the top, and gotta get that. Yeah, gotta get it for the lovers, for the youth. And if I know somebody who deserves to be multi-millionaire, my anonymous sister friend. And what is money anyways? Money serves a purpose. I am $10,500 in debt, but my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and got food and coffee, you know. So got food and coffee, and rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and got food and coffee. And if I can be of some service, and I can. And doing that friends with benefits only though. Doing that friends with benefits, you know. So doing that friends with benefits only, and the rest we can be allies, whatever. But I like to offer, and I'm an ASPI, so we ASPI show compassion by action. 1 hour and 49 minutes to get to the mountain, and about 13.3 kilometers. So I estimate that it's about 13.3 kilometers in 1 hour 49 minutes, almost 1 hour and 50 minutes, close to 2 hours by the time to get here. So 1 hour and 50 minutes, because I took the longer route. I took it by that west mountain by Sherbrooke, so I had a lot of steps already taken in, a lot of steps to get here. So now we're gonna do some more, and we're gonna get that drill, discuss about cybersecurity. And what do I know? I know now I'm calling for an integrated transatlantic NORAD NATO, North American Europe, NORAD NATO, public-private partnership, Dragon Cyber Defense Initiative. Gotta build new supercomputers right here in those buildings. Gotta build new supercomputers right here in those buildings. Right here in those buildings. And more satellites. Because you gotta take that surveillance in the public. Now I can go online, do a lot of online activities and do that fitness and encourage citizens to work out, to train and to exercise, and super important to encourage citizens to work out, to train and to exercise. Super important to encourage citizens to work out, to train and to exercise. And working out, training and exercising has been, is and will be my medicine and therapy of choice, as it is for many. It is for many, and we cannot base our civilization on just one dimension, two dimensions. It takes multiple dimensions, right? Multiple dimensions. Right here, right now, that's all I got today. Survive COVID, conquered being depressed and suicidal by action, and by gratitude. You know, grateful for the sun, grateful for the building, grateful for the laptop. I got this work though. I don't have GoPro. Anybody willing? Blah 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 blah. Finance. We go online, live stream, raise funds, right? Public-private partnership, support a dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom support a dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom support a dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom support a dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. See, I come right here, show you my second home, the mountain. And this is not just my home. This is for the flora, for the fauna, and it's open to the public. Now I'm in the public. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which would have not been in the course of circumstance, would have not been the same. If I would have not had the same circumstances, I would have stayed home. It would have been the same. 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 It would have been not the same, right? Gotta see them. See them work out, try and exercise. See them do X, Y, Z. You gotta see sometimes. I see the sun, my public king. I know a little bit about the sun. I know X, Y, Z. Those public citizens, they're doing a little bit of that chop. What am I doing? I'm gonna work out, train, exercise. Meditate for go cybersecurity, go. Go cybersecurity, go. We gotta get that go cybersecurity and gotta get it for the drills, you know. I love the smell. The smell of wood. It smells so good. It smells so good. Gotta get that chop. Gotta get that chop in that wood. Sometimes gotta get that chop. See, they're doing some work because it's safer, right? Because there's danger. So I understand what they're doing because some of the branches have fallen. So for citizen safety, because now I'm on that pedestrian, it's of course something which they're doing so that it doesn't fall. So sometimes it needs to be done, but you see so much has been planted there, and some of the trees got to be cut due to different disease, you know, so don't infect the others. X, Y, Z. I know a little bit. I know we're planting a lot, and I know that. I tell you, when you come here, not leave garbage, plastic, whatever it is, recycling. Just put it in the public sphere. Put it in the public there to get that recycling done and that garbage, because we got public workers. That's why we got the public works, for them to take it and to take it up and to do it, to take it. So that's where it's supposed to go. If you got garbage, you know, gotta put it in the garbage. And here I gotta turn my head left to right and left to right, and because when I cross the street I gotta be on that X and on that Y. See this beautiful majestics. They're super big, like so tall, man. Majestics. Gotta get it for that drill. Gotta get it for that drill. Good for you. Keep on jogging. Gotta get on that jog. Add another 7 kilometers. We're already on the march, marching in. New boots. Auctioning everything that I'm wearing. Blah, 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 blah. Fitness journey starts today. What is the time now? This is the time to discuss that DRT. Yes. DRT theory for that DRT theory. For the debt refusion theory. The DRT is the only solution, and now as I march for that cybersecurity, gotta get for that march of that cybersecurity and to get that drill and get it funded over and get it to support the DRT. The DRT is the only solution across North America and across the West for that matter. This is of course 302, 302, 303. So I'm gonna find the picture and I'm gonna discuss the DRT. But before I do, of course, I do want to reiterate and repeat, not just because I'm an Aspie and Asperger's, we repeat things twice, 3 times, and we're obsessed about certain subjects. And my obsessions are geopolitics, civilizational studies, dancing is my favorite sport, sports and fitness, and of course public hygiene, not just because of that, but of course because it's important for people to be encouraged, supported for regular physical exercise. See? Gotta thank the public workers, they're picking up the garbage. They're picking up the garbage, the public workers. Gotta give them a little shout out right there. So thank you, much appreciated, because this is not just my mountain, it's my home, my second home here. It's like my second home. It's like home for me here, my second home, but it's not just mine. It's mine, yours, and ours. So we got a common denominator. We're in the public, because now in the public, I got myself added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. My liberty, my security, to be in balance, harmony, and equilibrium with other citizens. I'm not perfect, far from it. I keep that rainbow rock and roll dragon and always say today. It starts today, my fitness journey, and get it for that drill and XYZ, and always good to be mindful that I am in the public. I got out of my dragon's lair and I'm here out of fresh air in nature, coming all the way from the civilization where the air is less fresh, as I've been surrounded sometimes, and sometimes you didn't see it on this video, but in other videos you do, with so many cars, right? Because it's a metropolis, 2.5 million people on the island, so it's a lot of people on the island. It's like a small country, second biggest, most populated city in Canada. First is Toronto, after it's my city. In this life and in another life, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, HAWK, we got hawks, that bird of prey. We got it in the sky. You're gonna see sometimes in the videos, you see that hawk. So yours truly, as I go now on that HAWK like a Hawk Island, Montreal, grateful, thankful, rent, spade, electricity bills paid. Got food and coffee, and encourage all to work out, train, exercise, blah, blah, blah. My fitness journey always starts today. That's my motto. Dragon Army, blah, blah, blah. We channel the aggression. Yes, I have aggression myself. I have aggression. But my brothers and sisters, I channel it. I work out, I train, I exercise, I channel it, I sublimate. 2 key words of my philosophies: aggression and sexuality. I'm looking, nobody's around. Yes, I did masturbate this morning and yesterday morning and yesterday night. You know, I put it on the open. I like my BDSM switch, stands for bondage, domination, submission, masochism, my private life. Private sexuality is a bit unique, rainbow. I'm another minority, maybe sexually, because Aspies, I'm a less than, people that have Asperger's, we're just less than 1 out of 300, right? Less than 1 out of 300 has Asperger's. And of course, Asperger's being androgynous, pansexual, part of the LGBTQ who likes BDSM switch. Well, I'm a pack at that. But we have individual and the collective. We got to work together. But anyways, my private life, I do like, let's say, to be with consent and hygiene. I like to be let's say a bit whipped and degraded. whipped and degraded. No need to spy on me, hack me, Russia and China. Live open. I know a little bit about computers. I call my Scorpio brother of the stars, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, to work to get a public-private partnership, blah blah, for collective North American civilizational complex, for that North America right here, for NATO, for a new public-private partnership, and to create what I call the Universal Exchange Unit by the implementation of my theory called the DRT. So I'm going to talk about the DRT, debt refusion theory, which I know to be the only solution to what's happening now. The only solution to what is happening now, of course, is the DRT, debt refusion theory. The debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. That's going to circumvent and going to go roundabout to get a little bit of that hydration. So we're going to take it by the plane, and it's been a while I haven't gone on these stairs, but are they open now? They're open now. Are they open now? Let's see if the sun is there, and I'm going to take it by the side. So the DRT theory stands for debt refusion theory, and it is the only solution at the moment. I firmly believe there's no other solution. There's no other solution but the DRT theory, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. So the DRT, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, is the only solution right now, which of course is to be implemented. There's no other solution. I could say that as I'm gonna go check on those lions and check on my baby lions here, how they're doing, and look at these lions. They're gonna soon be reacquainted. I would love to paint this, you know, I would love to see a little bit of painting, some color, and all the benches here. So for the public-private partnership, all the benches maybe by spring is something that I'm willing to volunteer, you know, because a lot of benches have a lot of color to be put on. So I'm willing to work volunteer-wise to just paint all these that need to be painted, you know. It's blah 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 blah, and we gotta get that drilled, and I would love to paint them, you know. So I would love to paint them a lot, paint them some nice color, because they need a lot of painting. So that is gonna be for the public, and for the public. And we're gonna go for the public and the public, huh? Well, anyways. Anyways, I'm gonna get that DRT for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, preferably by biometrics. So the DRT explains. So now I'm gonna show you why the motive that I believe, I know to be the only solution to what's happening now financially in the public sphere, and for that matter, myself being $10,500 in debt, $10,500 in debt for my finances and for yours. That is the DRT theory. So here are the numbers. This from the Bank of Canada. This is the official numbers of the debt servicing. So the debt servicing is paying the interest on the debt. In 2020, 2021, we paid 20.3 billion interest. That's a million. That's 1,000 million. It has 9 zeros. So in 2020, 2021, it was 20.3 billion, right? In 2023 to 2024, 3 years later, it more than doubled to 46.5 billion. So these are the official Bank of Canada numbers. This was taken on the 22nd of November of last year. So only about 3 months ago was this taken. Only about 3 3 months ago was this taken. So again, in 2020, 2021, we paid interest on the public debt. This is the public debt. On the public debt, we paid 20.3 billion of interest. And then 3 years later, now this, we're going to pay 46.5 billion. 1 billion is 1,000 million. 1 billion is 1,000 million. 1 billion is 1,000 million. 20.3 billion in 2020, 2021. So that's just paying the interest on the debt, what we call officially debt servicing. So 20.3 billion 3 years ago, we paid, and it more than doubled, because double would have been 20.3 times 2, that's 40.6, 20.3 times 2 is 40.6. So now it's 46.5, it more than doubled. Just paying the interest on the debt, what we call debt servicing on the public debt. So this is just the interest. It's in the billions paying the interest. This is catastrophic. This is not sustainable. As I go up now on the mountain, ascending, I'm gonna go get that hydrate. And of course, this is not sustainable. It's about to be a catastrophe. Catastrophic, catastrophic, catastrophic. And of course, 20.3 billion we paid 3 years ago. Now 46. This is a catastrophe waiting to happen, and it's not sustainable. One knows a little bit about public finance, and see, this is again the curse of Asperger's, meaning that I studied, and I've been lost friendships, made new friends, lost friends, and made employment, lost employment, XYZ, and whatever the case may be. So yours truly, now, as the sun is shining, being joyous on right here, with a little bit of that tickles, and putting those kisses on the tables, because first and foremost, I'm laying the foundations of the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom with 718 trillions of kisses. 718 trillions of kisses. 718 trillions of kisses. Trillions. So I got more kisses, although I'm 10,500 in debt. The DRT theory explained. So I take all the public and the private debt. My debt, my private debt is 10,500. My debt, your debt, our debt of Canada coast to coast is going to be, of course, in the millions and billions and millions and millions. Added up with the United States and Mexico and Haiti, the North American countries. And keep in mind that my DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, includes what's called, in of course, monetary theory. My DRT theory includes monetary integration theory. So monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union. Of course, France got rid of the franc, Italy got rid of the lira, Germans got rid of the Deutschmark, and they created a common currency, what's called monetary integration. So my DRT, Dragons, Rainbow Dragons, Rock&Roll, DRT, debt refusion theory, includes monetary integration theory. So DRT, debt refusion theory, includes monetary integration theory, right? So that's the DRT. My theory includes what was done in Europe, includes monetary integration theory. So taking all public and private debt, refuse it, create a new currency called the UE. So I'm going to explain it. So take all the debt of Canada, all citizens, both the public and the private debt. So both the public and the private debt. Both the public and the private debt. Refuse it, add it all up, and it's due to the fact that the United States dollar still is the currency of change of choice. The United States dollar is still the currency of choice, the international finance, world economics, and of course. Oh wow, ça fait plaisir mon cher, fais attention. Ouais, wow. Hey, he's wow, that's nice. That's talent. I rarely see this. Is only the second person which I see going down like that. We shoot that French soon, but I bet Prive. So that's talent. He went all the way down. He slowed a bit, but that's only the second person I see. This is very dangerous. I even warn people not to go by that, but he's very well. I got out of his way with a smile, and my pleasure. He said thanks in French, and my pleasure, and salute, salute, salute. I like people working out like that, and when I do that cyclist and cycling, gotta get that cyclist, you know. So we gotta get for that cycling, and we gotta get for the X, we gotta get for the Y, we gotta get for the Z, for the XYZ, and get it for that drill, get it for the love. For the love. Anyways, the DRT theory, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, created of course by biometrics. So take all the public and the private debt. My private debt is 10,500. My debt, your debt, our debt, United States, since the United States dollar is still the currency of choice. Convert all the debt, public and the private debt of Canada to US dollars, do the conversion, because the United States dollar, the US dollar, is still the currency of choice for international finance, global business and import-export, and world tourism travel, right? So do that conversion, all the public and the private debt of Canada, United States, Mexico, Haiti. If we can expand it beyond the Haiti and the North America, it could be transatlantic with the Europeans as well, but I'm speaking as a North American because although I lived many past lives, many incarnations, ancient India, ancient Egypt, ancient back in Sumer, and post 1776, served twice in the USA Army. You heard that correct. So my Scorpio brother Joe Biden twice was born in the USA post 1776. Both times I've served in the United States Army, and now present to you the DRT, the solution, debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. So the debt refusion for the creation of the UE, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. And right here in a parallel life, I know everything about these. Now I know a little bit how the radio waves go. Got that radio, 3G, 4G, 5G, I think even that. But in a parallel life, I build, design antennas, radio, television, and supercomputers, and of course, all the things about supercomputers and civilization, satellites. And I developed a network of North American transatlantic public-private partnerships, surveillance, security, and services. I'm asking for now to do in the Dragon Army, blah, blah, blah. Support the DRT theory. Take all public and private debt, Canada, United States, Mexico, convert the pesos of Mexico, all the public and the private debt of Mexico converted to US dollars, the Canadian debt, all the public and the private converted to US dollars, and of course all the Haitian debt converted to US dollars. And all that bundle, that will be the initial money supply. So all that money, the public and the private debt will be the initial money supply, for a new global central bank, and a new North American central bank to issue what I call a new currency called the UE. The Universal Exchange Unit, U.E.U. The Universal Exchange Unit, based on biometrics, the hand, the voice, the eye are unique biometric identifier, but based on the United States dollar. So based on the US dollar, on the United States dollar, the UE. The United States dollar, but the UE. And then freeze all the prices. Freeze the price of bread. We're gonna fight off, finish inflation. Standardize the prices of goods, all the goods. And then with all that money, set an interest rate limit on all public and private finance afterwards of 10% maximum. It's gonna be 9%, 7.7%, 3.33%, 1.56%. 7.18, 4.18, whatever the number is in the finance. But maximum by principle 10%. But it can be less than that. It's gonna be less, but not more than 10%. So that's the solution. There's the dragons, DRT, rainbow dragon, all the Asperger's, raw retrograde amnesia I have, and past lives, and being a mystic, and sometimes being a mess, and cursed of Asperger's, and chronically sick and ill, and retrograde amnesia, and survived being depressed and suicidal, and now here I am after surviving COVID and dunning as a YouTuber, so much work, and so much work on YouTube, and continuing my YouTube work, and sending LOV to all my allies and armies, blessings, but support the DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit. So take all the public and the private debt, refuse it, convert the debt, the United States dollar to the United States dollar. So all the public and the private debt of Canada, convert it to US dollars. That's going to be in a number. added together with all the public and the private debt of the USA. Mexico added all together, convert the peso, the Mexican public and the private debt, the pesos, because it's pesos, convert it to US dollars, and then all the other, do the conversion, do the conversion to what I said, and that will be the initial money supply, 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 the initial money, the initial money supply, the initial money supply. See, that will be all the, and then set an interest rate level of 10%. It could be 9%, it could be 7.70%, it could be 3.33%, 1.56, 4.18, 7.18%, whatever the number is, right? So that's what it is. So do the DRT, the debt refusion theory, for the creation of the universal exchange unit, universal exchange unit. So take all the public and the private debt, refuse it, whatever the number is. All that number will be the initial money supply. It's going to be in the trillions, set an interest rate level, and this will permit us to rebuild infrastructure of North America, build public parks, finance, rebuilding of the infrastructure, mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance citizens to work out, to train, to exercise, mass finance citizens to work out, to train, and to exercise, mass finance citizens to work out, to train, and to exercise, mass finance citizens to work out, to train, and to exercise, mass finance citizens to work out, to train, and to exercise, and of course to get that DRT in application. Take all public and private debt, my 10,500 included, my debt, your debt, our debt, and of course all the collective debt of North America. Support the financing of this and public-private partnership. My dream manifesting as the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, manifesting as the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. So that DGA, dancing goddess army, and the dragon kingdom is of course my call for a public-private partnership across the collective North American civilizational complex, across the North American civilizational complex, across the collective North American civilization, across that North America. And so to get it done and take that DRT, the DRT debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE, the universal exchange unit, for the creation of the UE, and of course to implement the debt refusion theory for the greater good and for myself, for us, to mass finance citizens. But myself, I live a simple, austere, severe lifestyle, full with rainbow exercise and rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, doctors, nurses, always thinking about them, and this is for the greater good, and this is the solution. The solution. There's no other solution, my brothers and sisters. I can tell you that clearly. With a passion, with a curse of Asperger's has given this blessing I put to the table, not just for myself, but for us and for the manifestation of the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom, the kingdom of which I'm laying the foundations, first and foremost with 718 trillions of kisses I got by the trillions. I got some push-ups, some rock and roll with it, and I'm a pro-labor and love universal revolutionary centrist. I believe in public-private partnership, within that mid-path centrism. My centrism is tied in for the 21st century with a universal revolutionary centrism. Universal revolutionary centrist, yes. Although all I know is this Montreal, Hawk Island, Canada, North America, I'm fundamentally a North American, and yes, I believe in reincarnations. I was born in many past lives, and I am a universal-hearted, and of course I am for world peace, but fundamentally all I really know is the island, and know a little bit here, that plane. I'm meditating how many people are in that plane, maybe 418, maybe 333, 156, 718. How was it built? When was it built? So many questions I got, so many things I don't know. I know my geopolitics, I know my sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport. I know my civilizational studies, my obsession about public hygiene, and of course I know my rock and roll and rap. I know my rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, truckers on the road with that rap. Strippers, please give the truckers a discount and the farmers a discount with it. Blah 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 blah. Nothing to do about love. I don't want to hear it. I go death if I don't share love. And talk about exercise, my dream, parallel, ally. That's it. That's all. Rock and roll. Otherwise, I don't want to know nothing about it. Nothing about it. I'm happy here, content, joyous. I made it to the top here, meditating on 24/7 on the privileges of civilization and saluting those who planted. See those little trees that have those strings, those colorful strings attached? That means that they were planted last autumn, spring, or summer. So now they're gonna blossom. I see the improvement. Now they grew a little bit. They were very small. So gotta give a thank you to those hands. Gonna blah 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 blah. Gotta give a replenish to those that flora and that fauna. Blah 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 blah. Gotta replenish that flora and the fauna. That's how you do it. That's how we're doing it. By doing it, So I'd rather be planting trees. Financed by my theory apply, we're going to be able to replant, reclean oceans, blah 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 blah, for pleasure and purpose. The dancing goddess army with the dragon army, security and service only, security and service only, solely for security and service, for security and service only, 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 for security and service only. Security and service, that defense, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, 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 that defense, coast to coast, and ocean to ocean. I just gotta tie my belt a bit, tighten my belt, literally and physically, because kind of popped a bit. And put my glasses in, and put my glasses on inside right here where my disinfectant is, and keep on marching. No stop. We go overtime every time. So the DRT is the only solution, brothers and sisters. Support a dream. The implementation of my DRT along with the CIT, citizen integration theory, and that democratic fusion theory to create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions. The Dancing Goddess Army, the DGA, and the North American Citizen Integrated Dance League. And of course, the North American Citizen Integrated Dance League, together with the Global Dragon Union, the Pro Labor and Love Universal Centrism Union, and the Dragon Army, the North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service. For security and service, North American Integrated, could be NATO, and beyond. Security and Service Force, service integrated with all existing public and private security institutions, with all existing public and private security institutions, with all existing public and private security institutions, with all existing public and private institutions. And I live a simple, austere, severe lifestyle, I live a simple, austere, severe lifestyle. I live a simple, austere, severe lifestyle. I live a simple, severe, austere lifestyle. I don't need much, but I want to build that house over there and build the house of the dragon. And here in the mountain, I always converse with nature. And nature sometimes is our friend, but nature got his ways, and we got to build that nature and civilization. My mother nature dances with her brother the sun, and it's a dance, of course, which is a different dance and a mystic dance. And of course, we always got to meditate and get that double trouble XYZ, and we got to get that coast to coast, build more satellites. But I'm in the public. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations in the public. My liberty and security and prosperity to be in prosperity. Well, I got kisses by the tree and some push-ups, rock and roll with it. Although I'm $10,500 in debt, I paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, got food and coffee. So I'm grateful for that. As I'm right here, getting on that toes and getting on the snow a little bit. And this is like my second home. I love to come here, meditate, and I'm always meditating now. What's happening with the truckers across North America, Canada, US, Mexico? The truckers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, all XYZ. Sometimes we got too much of that bureaucracy, I've explored hurdles of bureaucracy and went for projects, programs, never got back to me, and the city and blah blah blah. We get frustrated, but sometimes get that in action. You gotta get that action. I'm a centrist. Sometimes it's required, Sometimes it's that requirement. that requirement. Sometimes we need to keep things simple. Dr. Dragon prescribes some walk, 30-minute walk, some push-ups, public hygiene, a bath, blah, 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 gratitude, and with consent and hygiene, hug like you never hugged before. With consent and hygiene, the messages, hug like you never hugged before. With consent and hygiene, the messages, hug like you never hugged before. That's the main message. With consent and hygiene, hug like you never hugged before. That is the main message. You know, I'm not perfect. Got so many vices, flaws, and so many things I don't know. I know my geopolitics because I'm an independent, great geopolitical analyst and theorist, and I've predicted what's happening now. I have predicted what's happening now years and years and years ago based on an analysis, because that, Aspies, people with Asperger's like myself, we got some interests where we are super obsessed by. My interest, to the point of obsession, and that's maybe why I lost a lot of friends in the past years, are geopolitics, study of civilizations, and geopolitics, the study of civilizations, geopolitics, and the study of civilizations, and geopolitics, and of course geopolitical studies and public hygiene. So that's what I know, that's what I do, and that's here. Rock and roll right here. Self-support, build the forgotten goddess temple face to face with the House of the Dragon. All I need here is 3 rooms. 3 rooms is all I need. Right here, 3 rooms. 8 sleeping quarters, bathroom with a bathtub, a kitchen with a bath. I mean, not the bath, but the bathroom with a bathtub, and in the kitchen sink, and of course a room to sleep in. 3 quarters right here, a pyramid, red scarlet. That here build is support build for the headquarters of the Dragon Army and the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom right here to be this House of the Dragon face to face with the Forgotten Goddess Temple to be for activities such as full moon, dancing, and the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess Army to be right here to be the Dancing Goddess Army headquarters, and of course be the DGA and headquarters, and be a temple for the Forgotten Goddess with activities such as weekly activities, Sabbaths, and quarter moon, full moon, half moon, full moon, especially full moon still today until Thursday morning, and 3 days it lasts for me, full moon holiday. But build it in a circle, rainbow, lots of green, and activities such as dancing, meditation, and the exploration of nature right here. To build it in a circle, up 7 stories high, Forgotten Goddess Temple face to face with the House of the Dragon. That's all I need here. 3 rooms, sleeping quarters, kitchen with a sink and something proper to cook, bathroom with a bathtub to bathe, take those baths instead of bathing, taking long baths, and of course in a pyramid, scarlet, red right here. There, from there to there, House of the Dragon, simple, 3 rooms. From here you can work out, train, exercise, and of course here the Forgotten Goddess Temple. All I need here for the Forgotten Goddess Temple to be 3 rooms with 7 stories to activities for dancing and meditation and of nature, representing the rebirth of the collective North American civilizational complex, and representing of course the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. My dream, support my dream, which is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership, as the sun is shining and getting on that sun, and it seems that it's clearing those clouds. It's supposed to start raining or snowing later on, but I got my jacket, so I'm well prepared. So see, here it says that it's a plantation zone, so that's why we got this. That's why we got the instructions here. It says, it's only in French, but it says plantation zone, because zone is the same, plantation is the same, so you can kind of figure it out. And of course we got the poles, and of course we got the instructions about what's going on and how of course they're planted, and of course how many do. Here's the plantation zones again, so he's telling you that it's been planted, and of course we got the poles, which of course indicate that we should not trespass that way, and of course we got it's called in French clôture, and we got the kind of enclosed, and it's a kind of like, it's not really a wall, but so in many ways it is kind of like a wall, but it's of course closed in. It's a fence, basically. It's a fence. It's a fence What is this? Hey, look at that! Look at those mushrooms. See how the mushrooms is? This I gotta take a picture. See nature, how many mushrooms he got on this right here on the mushrooms, and it got right here on the mushrooms on the tree, and we gotta get it for that picture. I gotta go because this is really interesting how it has been grown. See the mushrooms. See the mushrooms on the mushrooms on that. See. So these are mushrooms, many mushrooms on this tree. See, in nature we got that civilizational complex, and gotta take care of nature as much as we can, and we gotta have that concordium to nature and civilization. See, to work together. Those are a lot of mushrooms actually. Eh? Wow, that's quite something right there. So it's gotta take those pictures. Some Mother Nature. Eh? Sometimes. See so many things, and it's rare that I see so many mushrooms on a tree. And see these trees fell down, and there's trees that fell during the storms. And we got also, when I hear cracks, I also got to check for my safety. So if you come here and you hear cracks, you got to watch above, because we got storm winds, and they can crack and they can fall. As you see, many branches have fallen, and there are many branches here and there, so you always got to check out for that safety, and you always got to check out for the safety, which is something which we got to be aware of. So rock and roll today for that cyber defense. I'm of course meditating on all the cyber operations now, NSA, CVSB, RCMP, and all that's being done now across North America. We need citizen integration. I of course envision places where citizens can go freely and join security forces across North America, for seeing what's happening with the truckers and across our highways and our public infrastructure. So because I am for security and service, and in our public service, to get, of course, in the public, to get the infrastructure and whatever infrastructure, webcams and with satellites connected, and to have centers in the cities and here and there where citizens can go and check the videos and be part of everything that's transpiring in civilization by a public and a private partnership. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. I see their safety there, my fellow citizens, playing a little bit of whatever they're playing with. It's about time. So they're enjoying exercise, good for you. Always like when I see people exercising and getting that physical activity. It's always nice and pleasant. So I always enjoy it. I always enjoy when I see people doing all sorts of physical activity like they're doing, and it's always nice and fun to get a little bit of football, get a little bit of drill, and get a little bit of exercise, get that sweat, get that exercise, and drill it, and do some push-ups and do a little bit of dance or whatever it is that you're doing, and get it for that hot drill, standing formation, and get that standing formation for that, get it for that drill, so it's super important to stay fit, exercise and work out, train and exercise, and super important to stay fit. So we're already on the march now, on a lot of hours, so gonna go get that hydration right there and stay fit, exercise, good for you, get that spring. It's 11 degrees now, so super important to stay fit and to get that 18 degrees for that XYZ and on that drill. So super important. See, watch for the bench here. I would love to paint all these benches. I gotta watch when I traverse here, so I don't go up and slide all the way. I'm gonna go by that side because it's a bit muddy, so better to take on that side for safety. Here we are. Nice snow is shining, and we gotta get it on the drill, and we made it all the way up, and we made it all the way up like that, and I'm happy that I see citizens and doing their thing and coming here and enjoying this second home and the greatest view on the planet right here. My second home, the greatest view on planet Earth, the greatest view on planet Earth, the greatest view on planet Earth right there. So super important. Gonna go get hydrated though, and we're gonna switch to that French because we're in La Belle Province, but maybe we're gonna do some of that drill, switch to that French now. So today for cybersecurity, imagining, because there's more and more outside, and some government links was more and more in the news recently in the past year. So we got concerned because we got grids, hydroelectric grids, and so many things with hydroelectrics, and I'm always meditating about what's happening now with the grids. And of course, we gotta give a shout out to that Hydro Quebec. I just saw the trucks; they were employees on formation. That means that they're being trained. So we gotta meditate all the Hydro Quebec as I'm doing now. This workout training program video with clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy, which of course is utilized now for me to get and to do this video with the laptop. Sometimes you gotta work with what you get, eh? Gotta be grateful. So see all these lights. This light right here is all lights all the way going to New York's five or six states maybe now, and of course going all the way to the Wall Street, to that Wall Street. Gotta sing a little bit of song here for the hydro-convey, for the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors all the time, overtime. Later Dragon gonna go hydrate. So you can come to the mountain and you get microwaves, and don't forget to wash your hands though. Do not forget to wash your hands after touching and disinfect myself. So super important. Hydrate HYDRAT. Gonna get it for that sing-along song. Gonna give it for that strong loving. For that dove, for the hawk, for the... Gotta get that smartphone. Gotta get that smartphone out and gotta get ready to do a little video right here, right now. We're gonna do a little bit of that up and that down. And let's go. Ready, set, hut. Gotta give a little bit of that rock and roll for the goddess, for the train conductors and the butchers and the bakers and the nurses. You know that Rainbow Dragon singing. With some love up in the spin, with some love up in the bin for those on the trucks, the trucking on the highway. You know that I go that freeway eagle from the sky, from the sun shining for the Rainbow Dragon blessings. With the kisses and the tickles, yeah, I got it. For those nurses, and I gotta sing a little bit of that good rock and roll. And, this rock and roll 24/7 right here is a nice way, nice pleasant to get that rock and roll. And gotta be watching because I don't want to disturb any citizen passing here. I don't want to disturb. It's the best way for me to sing. So keep on singing on that song. On and go along, for the long and for the show, for the road and for the go, for the nurses and the doctors and the butchers and the bakers. Gotta sing that rock and roll, gotta sing it ain't all about the money, where the loving, where the honey, where the bunny, where the public workers gotta build those bridges and the potholes, you know that I rock and roll on the road as I go on these steel toes. Rainbow Dragon say go dance on the floor. Whoa. Une chanson sur le Mont-Royal. La votre dragon en arc-en-ciel. Et sur les auteurs de sa danse, les camions faites attention, cela bouge, ça fasse comme les mains en avant, bien en arrière, bouge comme un papillon. Les papillons, la renaissance, c'est le printemps bientôt au mois d'avril. Le poisson, ça roule. Les infirmières, camionneurs, le travail public et le Québec. De l'amour, de la France, de la poésie. Comédie comique, ah oui que ça bouge, des mains pis des fesses, faut que tu le dises. S'il vous plaît, avance pour ça recule. Les montagnes, ça bouge, wouh! Ben non, c'est le soleil qui brille, puis Il dit qu'il a fumé du bon légal de cannabis. Je dis, ben oui, regarde, whoop, la fleur de lys. On dirait un arc-en-ciel, whoop, il voit des affaires, c'est pas clair, avec le tonnerre, le coup de foudre, que ça fasse l'amour, ça fasse des bananes, ça pèle ensemble, comme un pelle, ça pèle, il n'y a plus de neige, on est en avril, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ah oui, folklorique que ça rise, chatouille, la cerise, ça bouge, ah oui, rouge! Rouge, rouge, bouge, bouge, et dragon en arc-en-ciel, une chanson, ah ouais, let's go, Canadiens en dernier, oui, ça fasse l'année prochaine, peut-être la coupe, ouais, tu rêves, mon cher, rêve, c'est clair, rêve de lune, des qui dansent, dragon en arc-en-ciel, de quoi que je vous parle, l'Hydro-Québec bouge, une autre chanson de votre dragon en arc-en-ciel, un petit peu de la comédie, mais chanson faite direct sur la montagne. Puis ici, c'est la meilleure place pour faire des chansons. Let's go for that rock and roll. Let's go for that rock and roll. And we gotta sing a little bit of French and that's French. And gotta let that hair loose as we go. Let's train a little bit on that sunshine. Gotta let it for that sunshine. Second on that deep, second on that lip. Get it for that XYZ, get it for that XYZ. Get it for that love, get it for that dove. Get it for the lights, get it for the sky. Anyways, we made it to the top once again. Wow, we made it to the top. The beautiful sun is shining. Gonna get for that dance. We're gonna switch it to that French. Gonna get it for that dance, and we made it right here. And we made it for that. We made it to that dance. Look at that beautiful. That's that sun, baby. There we go. There we go. We made it to the top on we made it to the top once again. We're gonna take some pictures right from here. You can see, of course, the beautiful city there, and gonna get it for that dance. And bakers and the doctors and the nurses. We're gonna sing it, we're gonna dance it, we're gonna flip it, we're gonna trance it, we're gonna flip it for the sun. We're gonna get it for the one, we're gonna give it for the one, we're gonna give it for the love. For the lovers and the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the truckers and the dudes. And the doers and the lovers and the singers and the flipping on those, flipping on low, flipping on low, flipping on so, flipping on so. Flipping for the construction workers on those steel toes. Gotta get it for that love, gotta get it for the action. Gotta get it for the skyscrapers, gotta get it for the butchers. For the butchers and nurses and doctors. Gotta sing it for the lovers, gotta sing it for the huns. For the lovers and no one, for the love up in the one, for the sky up in the night, for the drums up in the love, for the love up in the skies, for the steel toes up in the lights, for the butchers and the bakers, for the lovers, for the truckers, for the Kingstons, for those who kiss it, for those who love it, for those who flip it, for the burger makers, in those fast food done bakers, and the kids up in the Lakers, and the kids up in the witches, and the carpenters. For the carpent, for the butchers, for the flame up in the lookers, for the firefighters. Yeah, we know that we love our firefighters, love our butchers, love our truckers, love our nurses, love our doctors, love our singers. Love our butchers and our bakers, love our nurses and our doctors, love our nurses. If you're not saying LOV in the sentence I don't wanna see, nothing, don't wanna hear nothing about it. Kissing. That's the fucking time. Et voilà, on est rendu sur la montagne. On fait une petite méditation, puis on va faire aujourd'hui pour la sécurité. Là, c'est aujourd'hui la marche dédiée à la sécurité, bien sûr, des cybernétiques qu'on appelle la surveillance. Merci les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec, c'est pour à cause d'eux autres qu'on a l'électricité, merci beaucoup. Les fermiers aussi, les pompiers. On envoie l'amour à cette marche pour la sécurité cybernétique. Les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec qui ont bâti les centrales pour qu'on ait de l'électricité chez nous, partout, puis il y a ça, puis il y a ça, puis il y a ça. Puis les infirmières, puis les camionneurs, puis tous ceux qui travaillent dans la production alimentaire. Aujourd'hui, la marche est dédiée à pour, bien sûr, pour la défense cybernétique. La défense cybernétique. Défense cybernétique parce qu'il y a de plus en plus de discussions qui relatent, qui font la relation puis entre les événements qui se passent en géopolitique, puis bien sûr les événements qui sont vis-à-vis des attaques, des cyberattaques, les hackers. Puis c'est possible qu'ils s'en viennent d'ailleurs, que ce soit de parler des États comme la Russie et la Chine. On a de plus en plus de nouvelles. Fait que la sécurité, défense. Aujourd'hui, cette marche est dédiée avec méditation pour la défense cybernétique. 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 La défense cybernétique. Puis, il faut, c'est mon projet, mes pensées, puis je fais appel à mon frère Scorpion Bill Gates toujours. Bill Gates, de soutenir mon rêve de la déesse et du dragon qui danse. Puis c'est comme aussi une stratégie de cyberdéfense de côte à côte en construisant puis bâtissant d'autres superordinateurs. Et bien sûr, de construire d'autres ordinateurs, puis un plan intégré avec le NORAD, c'est l'Alliance militaire en Amérique du Nord. Puis bien sûr, pour la cyberdéfense. La sécurité de l'Internet dans d'autres mots, là, parce que récemment, il y a eu de plus en plus des supposées attaques par l'Internet, par les ordinateurs, la cyberattaque, la cybernétique. Là. Puis bien sûr, le relier avec les ordinateurs. Puis il y a supposément des groupes étrangers qui c'est possible qui soient reliés avec les gouvernements même de la Russie et de la Chine. Mais il y a de plus en plus de discussions. Il faut qu'on soit ouvert à ces affaires-là. Puis vu l'implication en géopolitique externe, puis toutes ces choses qui sont reliées avec la géopolitique, puis c'est possible, bien sûr, qu'il faut. Fait qu'aujourd'hui, c'est pour une marche dédiée à la défense. Défense de notre infrastructure, puis nos ordinateurs qui sont reliés avec l'infrastructure, puis tout ce qu'il y a à faire avec la défense cybernétique. La défense cybernétique. La défense cybernétique. Bien sûr. Oui, le corbeau étant d'accord, fait que cette marche et méditation de Rock&Roll est aujourd'hui dédiée à ces événements de la géopolitique, bien sûr. Ouais, voilà le corbeau. Ouais, ils sont là, ouais. Ils sont là. Ça, c'est ma légion de corbeaux, ça. Les légions de corbeaux, en tout cas pour la cybernétique, c'est important bien sûr qu'on fasse un plan de partenariat public-privé intégré, tu sais, intégration basée sur mes philosophies, puis que ça fasse même pour bien sûr l'alliance défense cybernétique, tu sais, parce que moi je suis un centriste, un philosophe. Aspi, un artiste athlète Aspi, avec rare amnésie rétrograde, amnésie rétrograde, artiste athlète, puis je suis un philosophe aussi, mais je suis centriste. Je suis arc-en-ciel pas mal, mais quand même, rock-and-roll aussi, ben du rock-and-roll, puis la comédie chez nous. Puis aujourd'hui, je suis dans le public, fait que j'ai d'autres responsabilités, obligations puis devoirs, puis cette marche est dédiée à la défense de notre infrastructure, puis de notre système d'ordinateurs qui sont reliés beaucoup avec le privé et le public. C'est une danse constante, parce que quand je dis, bon, quand je fais appel aux gens de soutenir mon rêve, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, c'est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé que je fais appel pour la nature, la civilisation, puis la défense de ce que j'appelle le collectif de civilisation nord-américain. Le collectif de civilisation nord-américain. Le collectif de civilisation nord-américain.
en Amérique du Nord, dans le fond, parce que c'est vraiment, même si je suis né dans d'autres vies, de l'ancienne Égypte, jusqu'à présent, passant par l'ancien Rome, puis la Sumérie, puis tout ça, et en étant né aussi dans d'autres vies sur l'île de Montréal, plusieurs fois, puis aux États-Unis, j'étais né 2 fois après 1776, dans d'autres vies antérieures. C'est fondamentalement aujourd'hui le 26 mars 2023, 24, correction, 24, le 26 mars, aujourd'hui 2024, ayant survécu la COVID, puis ayant sorti la dépression, je veux voir ma renaissance, puis la vôtre, puis le partenariat public-privé, puis bien sûr, je suis en dette de 10 500 $, fait que je suis prêt à écrire de Rock&Roll. Si vous avez le numéro de Céline, appelez-le, puis on va aller sortir sur les collines, les plaines d'Abraham aussi ici sur le Mont-Royal. Pour les fermiers, les camionneurs, les infirmières, on les aime, les pompiers, les bouchers dans les boucheries, les bouchers dans les boucheries, charpentiers, charcuterie, et ça coupe, puis ça fasse, ben, dis-moi comment dire, fromage. Puis, moi, je vis une vie simple, austère, ça va, mais en arc-en-ciel avec du rock'n'roll, puis j'aime ça l'entraînement physique. Puis, chaque fois, je dédie mes marches d'entraînement physique de rock'n'roll à un certain aspect de la civilisation, que ce soit pour les fermiers, pour les camionneurs, pour les infirmières, pour les travailleurs publics. J'en fais le tour, puis après ça, on retourne en cercle, puis on retourne en A, puis on s'en va jusqu'à Z. Puis aujourd'hui, c'est pour la défense de nos cybersystèmes, de nos systèmes d'Internet, public-privé aussi, parce que on a bien des connexions publiques, puis tu sais, comme on a vu en 2022, supposément, la ville de Westmount, tu sais, puis les informations, tout ça, moi, je savais, je mets sur l'Internet quand même ouvert, là, qu'est-ce que je suis, là, puis tout ça, on me cachait vraiment, là, je vis quand même une vie simple, tu sais, puis je savais que, oui, je regarde s'il y a personne en dos, mais oui, vous voulez savoir, je me suis masturbé ce matin, puis hier soir aussi, puis j'aime ça, le sadomasochisme, je suis androgène pansexuel gay, je suis gay androgène pansexuel, je suis gay, androgène, pansexuel, mais bien sûr que ça fasse des amis avec bénéfice toujours, mais je veux pas qu'ils m'espionnent ni le gouvernement de la Chine, le gouvernement de la Russie, qui reste à travers l'Atlantique et le Pacifique, c'est de côte à côte sur l'île de Montréal, la métropole que je connais, mais ça, je veux que ça soit ouvert et clair, là, puis faut pas qu'il y ait des choses qui s'imaginent dans leur tête, des choses pour en faire, blablabla, tu sais, c'est des choses qui en fassent, puis ils peuvent pas me chantager avec un aimant dans ma vie privée, là. J'aime ça, admettons, me faire fouetter, puis faire dégrader un peu, me faire dégrader un peu, tu sais. C'est mon plaisir, j'aime ça, puis il y a assez de souffrance pour la libération sexuelle, la compréhension, parce que c'est des forces, hein, c'est des énergies, comme l'agression, moi-même j'en ai, moi aussi. Mais cher, l'agression j'en ai, mais je la sublime. Je fais l'entraînement physique, je fais des pompes. Je fais l'entraînement physique pour la sublimation, pour ne pas que je réprime ni la sexualité, ni ma nature, l'agression, mais que ça soit en balance, en harmonie, en équilibre avec le reste, avec les autres. C'est ça le 21e siècle, l'individu. De l'individu, tu sais. Oups, note de cheval. Avec l'individu, c'est toujours l'individu, puis le collectif puis l'individu. C'est toujours une balance, constamment, qu'on doit faire. J'aime ça voir les gens se tenir par la main en public, se donner des câlins et des bisous, ça me donne l'espoir, parce que sinon on est à travers la Troisième Guerre mondiale, si il n'y a pas du monde qui font l'amour aujourd'hui, c'est pourquoi qu'on sauve, pourquoi qu'on veut dans l'armée, puis en plus, quand je dis dans l'armée de la défense nationale, mais avec mon frère Bill Blair, mais ça commence dans les garderies, puis il faut aller changer les couches, ou au moins sinon, aller bien sûr lire un livre d'enfants, sinon publier les miens, j'en ai écrit pas mal, qui sont avec des thèmes de la civilisation de la nature, puis des chants d'oiseaux, tu sais. Anyway, ça fait que ça prend constamment une navigation, puis ça prend constamment un effort, tu sais, de balancer l'individu avec le collectif. C'est ça le 21e siècle, là. L'individu avec le collectif. C'est pour ça que je fais appel à un partenariat public-privé. J'ai pas toutes les réponses, mais je sais que j'en ai un couple, comme la théorie de la refusion de la dette, qui n'a pas d'autre solution en ce moment, ou que ça va avec la dette publique, ou qu'on est rendu, que ma théorie, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, que j'en ai parlé, puis je vais continuer à parler peut-être dans les secondes minutes à venir. Mais anyways, aujourd'hui, on marche pour la cyberdéfense. Tu sais, dans un public, tu sais, dans le public, ça prend un effort constant d'avoir de défense cybernétique, tu sais, puis il y a des maîtres de leurs ordinateurs comme Bill Gates, puis Elon Musk, puis d'autres qui en connaissent plus que moi-même, tu sais. Puis aussi, bien sûr, si je dirais Zuckerberg ou quoi que ce soit, mais bon, c'est... Si vous perdez ou vous trouvez des outils, bien sûr, vous pouvez les emmener où il y a des objets perdus. Puis je fais un appel de cœur ici, sur la montagne, c'est comme ma deuxième maison, là, de ne pas polluer, ne pas laisser des choses qui peuvent endommager la nature. Donc si vous avez du recyclage, faites du recyclage. Si vous avez bien sûr de la poubelle, mais mettez ça dans les poubelles. C'est de la poubelle, là. Parce que c'est pour ça qu'on a les travailleurs publics, c'est pour ça qu'on a les travailleurs publics, c'est pour ça qu'on a les travailleurs publics. Les travailleurs publics, ils s'en occupent, c'est pour ça. C'est important de faire, bien sûr, d'un effort. Puis ça, vous voyez, quand il y a une roche, là, ça, les roches, puis vous allez dans le bas, c'est ça, une vraie ronde un peu. Mais anyway, c'est super important de faire constamment l'entraînement physique. Moi, j'ai sorti de la dépression il y a 6 ans et 6 mois, puis j'ai sorti de la dépression, puis j'étais suicidaire, puis bien sûr, j'avais sorti de la dépression, mais quand j'ai traversé le Canada, c'est un événement qui m'a fait sortir de la dépression et de suicidaire. Août 2017, jusqu'à bien sûr août, septembre. J'ai voyagé à l'ouest, Vancouver, Colombie-Britannique la première fois, puis après ça, j'ai fait de voyage à Halifax, en Nouvelle-Écosse. Puis j'ai dit tellement de choses à vivre ici au Canada, mon pays, parce que c'est tout vraiment qu'est-ce que je connais le Canada, là. Montréal, même si je suis éduqué, puis je peux être citoyen du monde, je le suis pour la paix mondiale, aussi universelle le plus que je peux, mais fondamentalement, c'est l'île de Montréal que je connais le plus. Fondamentalement, c'est l'île de Montréal que je connais le plus, fondamentalement. C'est l'île de Montréal que je connais le plus, ouais. L'île de Montréal que je connais le plus. Le reste, par les éducations, par mes expériences mystiques du réincarnation, hein, j'ai des réponses, j'ai pas toutes les réponses de l'esprit puis de la spiritualité. Il y a bien des questions que j'en ai moi-même, du questionnement, il y a tellement de choses que je sais pas, comme dans une vie parallèle, je suis un maître de la science. Je bâtis, construis les superordinateurs, des satellites, puis des micropuces. Et c'est ça que je fais dans une autre vie parallèle. Mais ici, maintenant, la géopolitique, l'analyse en géopolitique, c'est tout ça que je connais. Puis c'est une malédiction de l'Asperger's, bien sûr, qui a donné une bénédiction. Mais vu que je suis aspi, je fais partie d'une minorité, hein. Moins que sur 300 ont l'Asperger's, puis ça fait peut-être de la malédiction de l'Asperger's qui fait que je suis obsédé par certains sujets, comme moi-même, c'est la géopolitique 24/24, avec les études de civilisation 24/24, puis bien sûr le sport, la danse, c'est mon sport préféré, mais j'aime le hockey, le basketball, puis bien d'autres sports, puis ici comme l'entraînement physique, je fais de la marche, puis la bonne respiration sur la montagne avec l'air frais, parce que je dois me nettoyer moi-même aussi. Avant que je nettoie d'autres mondes, puis nettoyer ça, je vais me nettoyer moi-même, j'ai du travail à faire sur moi-même aussi. Là, inquiétez-vous pas, j'ai nettoyé mon bol de toilette en matin, moi aussi. Ouais, je suis pas parfait, loin de là, philosophe, mais il y a d'autres choses que je sais pas, mais c'est important pour la cybernétique. Aujourd'hui, je fais une marche faisant la méditation avec la cybernétique, parce que c'est possible que ces attaques-là aient été subventionnées par des gouvernements. Je dis pas oui, je dis pas non, mais c'est possible. C'est possible que la Russie aille financer les attaques cybernétiques sur l'Internet, sur l'infrastructure reliée aux ordinateurs, sur les États-Unis, comme c'est possible qu'ils l'ont fait au Canada aussi. Soit la Chine ou la Russie ou d'autres États aussi. C'est possible. C'est pour ça qu'il faut faire un partenariat public-privé. Puis moi-même, j'ai jamais eu de problème avec PayPal, puis Microsoft. Et qu'il faut faire une nouvelle alliance, bâtir de super ordinateurs. Puis je suis pour la surveillance, mais pour la liberté aussi. Partir construire d'autres satellites connectés avec le Soleil, oui, puis des super ordinateurs connectés avec l'Hydro-Québec, puis le Soleil aussi. Pour avoir la surveillance, puis des caméras web, puis des places, des centres où les citoyens peuvent aller voir dans les vidéos aussi, soit Integree, Citoyen, peuvent aller voir qu'est-ce qui se passe à travers l'Amérique du Nord, les camions qui passent, les camions, qu'est-ce qui se passe à travers le camion, qu'est-ce qui se passe à travers les sécurités publiques, qu'est-ce qui se passe à travers la belle province, le Canada puis le Québec, puis bien sûr à travers l'Amérique du Nord. qui se passe. Bien sûr, des aqueducs, le travail qui se font, intégré d'un partenariat public-privé. On va lire le poème ici, un poème ici. Vous voyez, un poème ici. Intégré de partenariat public-privé, puis ici on va pouvoir faire un coupe de pompe, ou sinon on va pouvoir faire de l'entraînement ici. L'unique étoile que nous avons en partage te rend le monde visible et te donne l'ombre où renaître. Si vous voyez ici, ça fait qu'on a un Y, un YZ, puis c'est des belles poésies, hein, c'est une belle poésie. Ça fait ici, vous voyez, l'unique étoile que nous avons en partage, vous voyez, l'unique étoile que nous avons en partage ici. C'est un poème, puis il y a bien des poèmes ici. C'est là, vous voyez, c'est là, c'est des nouvelles plantations, ça. Nouvelles plantations. Une nouvelle plantation, on salue. Faites un effort pour la flore puis la faune, c'est toujours important. Puis ça prend un effort, hein, parce que si on parle juste de le faire, il faut le faire. Puis je remercie ceux qui ont fait des plantations. Pour la zone de plantation, il y en a beaucoup à travers ici. Que ce soit bien des zones de plantation qui ont été faites. Hein. Fait que c'est quand même une bonne chose. Fait ici, on essaie de préserver. C'est pour ça que je fais toujours un appel quand je viens ici. Quand je suis sur mes ordinateurs, puis qu'est-ce que je travaille? Bien, je fais du travail indépendant avec cet ordinateur portable, mais c'est mon outil de travail. Puis je dois remercier Hydro-Québec parce que je les ai vus tantôt, puis j'ai commencé à chanter puis à méditer sur les centrales qui ont été bâties. Puis tout ce qui se passe maintenant dans la société, en partant par les garderies, des fermes jusqu'au gratte-ciel des fermes, des patates jusqu'au gratte-ciel des fermes et des patates jusqu'au gratte-ciel. Je suis un artiste, athlète et philosophe qui chante, mais je suis un philosophe aussi en marche qui aime ça l'entraînement physique, puis un athlète indépendant qui la danse, aspi avec ramnésie rétrograde, puis bien sûr un artiste athlète qui carpe diem depuis que je suis mort. La COVID, 4 ans déjà, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence puis la maladie. C'était comme la maladie, la pestilence puis la maladie. C'est comme la maladie, la pestilence puis la mort. Quand j'ai eu la COVID, j'ai survécu, j'ai sorti de la dépression. Puis ici, c'est comme ma deuxième maison chez nous. J'adore venir. Puis c'est toujours. Tenez en compte que la civilisation est un privilège. Puis vous voyez, mes chers, que je viens d'en parler, des choses comme ça, c'est peut-être par erreur aussi. Là. Mais ça va nuire. Ça va nuire. Ça nuit, tu sais. Ça nuit, ça. Ça ne dérange pas, vous avez bu la bière, vous avez acheté, c'est pas de mes affaires, là, comment vous sentez votre argent, là, au restaurant. Je me sens pouvoir m'acheter mon site du restaurant, j'ai pas d'argent, mais que ça soit bien sûr pour le restaurant. Mais c'est, il faut saluer, je salue bien sûr ceux qui ont fait les chefs de cuisine, bien sûr, qui ont acheté bien sûr de la cuisine, puis qui ont fait à manger, bien sûr, puis qui ont fait de la nourriture. Ça commence avec les fermiers, bien sûr, puis ça, il faut le mettre dans le recyclage. Ça, il faut le mettre dans le recyclage. Il faut mettre ça dans le recyclage, s'il vous plaît. Il faut mettre ça dans le recyclage. Il faut mettre ça dans le recycler, s'il vous plaît. Puis mettez dans les vidanges, on a un travail public qui s'en occupe. Fait que moi, je vais le mettre parce que s'il y a une écureuil ou des marmottes qui se réveillent, elle va manger, elle ronge, elle va tomber malade. Fait que c'est pour ça, mes chers, qu'il ne faut pas laisser des choses ici sur la montagne. Faites un effort, s'il vous plaît. Aujourd'hui, je suis en marche pour la cybernétique. On va aller faire de l'entraînement, faire des pompes à quelque part. Quelle heure qui est? 4h15. 4h15. Ça, je sais pas s'il y a quelqu'un qui a oublié son affaire ou quelqu'un qui est là, mais faut pas laisser ça non plus dans ça. Si il y a quelqu'un qui a oublié l'eau, peut-être avoir été de retour, c'est une belle couleur verte. Sinon, l'autre fois, il faut emmener à là. Ou qu'elle s'est perdue. Si je le vois demain, parce qu'il y a du vent, je m'inquiète parce que ça, il n'y a pas de personne ici. Puis je m'inquiète un peu qu'ici, il y a du vent. Ça a bougé, puis ça a tombé, puis ça peut endommager. Puis si quelqu'un l'a oublié, possible par erreur, ça a donné bénéfice du doute, là, mais peut-être qu'il est de retour, fait du jogging. Elle, lui, eux, peut-être, peut-être pas, je sais pas, mais c'est comme une belle bouteille, par exemple. Belle, un beau vert vif, mais je vais pas y toucher, mais si je vois demain, c'est possible que jusqu'à demain, c'est tombé, puis si ça tombe, ça va polluer, c'est ça, je m'inquiète de ça, mais c'est possible que la personne, plusieurs qui ont laissé là pour que ça soit de retour, là, qu'ils fassent le tour pour retourner, le bénéfice du doute à tout le monde, mais c'est sûr que c'est important de ne pas laisser des choses comme ça. C'est sûrement par erreur que ça a été fait, fait que je comme ça, peut-être ça, ils font du jogging ou du sport, puis ils vont retourner, puis ils vont bien sûr être de retour, puis ils vont être bien sûr pour le ramasser, puis le mettre dans leur bac ou que ça soit dans leur place. Que ça soit. Mais anyways, aujourd'hui pour la cybernétique, en marche spéciale, méditation puis de rock&roll, puis je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique régulièrement. L'entraînement physique a été sur ma médecine et thérapie de choix, bien sûr. Ici sur la montagne, l'air y est frais, donc je peux me nettoyer moi-même les poumons en prenant des belles respirations. Puis c'est toujours une constante, puis je répète parce que c'est important, mais parce que c'est bien pour moi-même. Aujourd'hui, je filais pas 100%, mais quand j'ai commencé à m'entraîner puis à marcher, je dis, ça sent déjà mieux. Checker mes courriers, il n'y a pas eu de business, puis des affaires, puis ci, puis ça. Je dis, mon loyer est payé, j'ai payé mon loyer pour le mois de mars, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café, puis du thé, puis bien sûr, que ça fasse une affaire qu'on a en commun, c'est la méditation, puis je retourne pour aller faire l'entraînement physique, puis peut-être aller me faire des pompes, puis aller m'hydrater encore, j'ai encore soif. Quelle heure qui est? Je dois voir l'heure parce que peut-être que je vais regarder un film avec ma soeur anonyme ou peut-être que je vais aller à 4h18. It is 4:18 on that clock. We go rock and roll it on the hold and we're gonna go do a little bit of that drill where we can go do some of that dance maybe. Let's go rock and roll and let's go maybe finish it up, wrap it up with some of that good dance. What do you say? Some of that good push-ups. Wrap it up with push-ups. Anyways, encourage you to work out, train, exercise. Je vous encourage tous et toutes à faire l'entraînement physique. Puis je vais discuter la théorie de la refusion de la dette maintenant parce que mes chers citoyens et concitoyens, il n'y a pas d'autre solution que ma théorie qui s'appelle la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Je dis ça de tout cœur. Fait que je vais vous l'expliquer c'est quoi. Puis tenez compte que ma théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire. C'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe. Les Européens, les Allemands ont enlevé le Deutschmark, les Français aussi ont laissé tomber le franc, les Italiens ont laissé tomber le lira, et bien sûr, ils ont fait une monnaie commune. Et tenez compte que ma théorie, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça inclut bien sûr, ma théorie, ça inclut bien sûr la théorie d'intégration monétaire. C'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait, bien sûr, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait dans le... bien sûr, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait dans le... en Europe. Donc la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ça inclut la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Maintenant, je vais vous expliquer c'est quoi la théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est ma théorie, puis je vais vous en parler quand je vais aller par là. Maintenant, on va changer un peu de côté. Donc là, je vais vous montrer pourquoi je dis que la théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est la seule solution en ce moment. La seule solution en ce moment, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. La théorie de la refusion de la dette qui inclut bien sûr la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Donc, je vais vous montrer comment on paye l'intérêt sur les finances publiques. Donc, ça, c'est le montant qu'on va payer cette année, c'est 46,5 milliards. Milliards, c'est en 9 zéros un milliard, ça. C'est des billions, milliards. Quand, regardez, ça a plus que doublé en 2020, 2021. Ça, c'est les chiffres officiels de la Banque du Canada. Puis ça a été fait par CBC, la Banque du Canada. Puis bien sûr, c'est les chiffres officiels qu'on a, bien sûr, que vous pouvez avoir accès parce que c'est public. Et ça, c'est le service de la dette. Dans d'autres mots, c'est l'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette publique. Ça, c'est l'intérêt qu'on paye. Regardez ça. 2020-2021, on paye 20,3 milliards. Ça a plus que doublé parce que double, ça a été 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6. Fait qu'on paye 46,5 milliards, on va payer cette année. Ça a plus que doublé ça, là. C'est une crise, catastrophe monétaire publique, de finances publiques. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution que ma théorie, la théorie de la refusion de la dette en ce moment pour avoir sauvé, puis pour sauver, puis avoir une solution. Puis encore une fois, je dis que c'est grâce et dû au fait que j'ai l'Asperger's, que je suis obsédé par certains sujets, puis j'avais étudié un peu les finances publiques, puis j'avais fait des analyses, puis je peux présenter ma théorie. C'est comme la malédiction de l'Asperger's que j'ai eu en perdant des amis, puis la souffrance, puis tout ça. Ça a fait bien sûr que j'ai maintenant une bénédiction, puis cette bénédiction, c'est le fait que je peux vous présenter la théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie de la refusion de la dette pour la création de l'unité d'échange universelle. Donc pour la création de l'unité d'échange universelle. 2020-2021, on paye 20,3 milliards d'intérêts. Juste payer l'intérêt sur la dette publique. Et en 2023-2024, on paye 46,5. On va payer 46,5 milliards. Ça, c'est les chiffres officiels. Donc, mes chers, il n'y a pas d'autre solution que ma théorie de la refusion de la dette que je vais vous en parler maintenant. Donc, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est prendre toute la dette, incluant ma dette en tant que citoyen privé, de 10 500 $, 10 500. Moi-même, j'ai 10 500 $ de dette. Ma dette, votre dette, notre dette à nous, collectif, de Canadiens, de côte à côte, public ainsi que privé ensemble, et les États-Unis avec, l'Amérique du Nord, ce que j'appelle le Collectif de Civilisation nord-américain, donc le Canada, les États-Unis puis le Mexique, bien sûr avec l'Haïti, et bien sûr que ça fasse ensemble, puis ça fasse bien sûr une refusion, et donc que ça fasse tous ensemble, puis ça fasse tout ensemble la dette publique-privée, puis ça soit bien sûr que ça fasse une dette ensemble. Tout ensemble, on va ramasser ensemble, on va faire le ramassage, on va faire toute la dette publique-privée, on va la ramasser, puis on va faire une dette publique-privée ensemble. On va ramasser toute la dette publique-privée. On va faire la conversion, vu que le fait que le dollar américain, le dollar des États-Unis, la devise états-unienne est encore, bien sûr, la monnaie d'échange pour le commerce international, pour les finances du monde. La monnaie des États-Unis, ne veut pas, c'est encore la monnaie d'échange. On va faire la conversion de toute la dette publique-privée du Canada en dollars états-uniens. Peso du Mexique, la dette publique, c'est en peso. Le peso mexicain, la dette publique du Mexique, privé puis public, la dette du Mexique, public ainsi que privé. On va faire un ramassage ensemble. On va faire bien sûr la conversion en dollars devise des États-Unis, d'Haïti la gourde, puis bien sûr d'autres pays de l'Amérique du Nord, puis les îles. Puis tout ce chiffre-là, ça a fondé une nouvelle banque. Ça a été l'argent initial d'une nouvelle banque, l'argent initial d'une nouvelle banque. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Ça peut être 3,33, 1,56, ou bien sûr, ça peut être un autre chiffre. S'il vous plaît, ne laissez pas des choses qui peuvent polluer ici. Je vais ramasser ça, puis ça doit y aller dans les vidanges, mes chers. Ça doit y aller dans les vidanges. Si ça va polluer sur l'environnement, c'est destructif pour l'environnement, ça. C'est destructeur. Ne laissez pas ça pour l'environnement ici. Ne laissez pas ça pour l'environnement. Ne laissez pas ça pour l'environnement ici. Donc, je vais faire ma part, puis je vais mettre ça dans les vidanges. Ça doit être dans les poubelles. Donc, toute la dette publique privée de l'Amérique du Nord, des pays, vu que le dollar américain, la devise des États-Unis, le dollar américain est encore la monnaie de change puis de choix pour les finances du monde, les échanges internationaux, le tourisme mondial. On va faire une conversion en dollars, en devise états-unienne. Oui, il y a une clôture ici. Oui, il va falloir que je fasse le tour là-bas. Il y a une clôture. Oui, il y a une clôture. Il y a une clôture, donc il va falloir que je retourne puis je fasse le tour. Pas grave, on marche, on est en marche. Donc, prends tout l'argent, la dette publique-privée, on fait une refusion et tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder une banque du monde, une banque initiale. Et bien sûr, une nouvelle banque. Et toute la dette publique-privée en dollars, on va faire la conversion en dollars américains, dollars des États-Unis, la devise des États-Unis. Tout cet argent-là, ça va être de l'argent initial. de cette banque. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Maximum, ça peut être 3,33, 1,56, 4,18, 7,18. Mais ça va être maximum 10% de maximum sur cette dette. On va faire des standards, une standardisation des prix, les biens, le coût que ça coûte, le pain, le saucisse, le fromage. On va faire un standard. Ça va être ça le nouveau standard. Un taux d'intérêt maximum de 10%. Et tout cet argent-là initial, ça va fonder dans la nouvelle banque. Puis ça va s'appeler l'UI, basé exactement sur le dollar américain. La devise des États-Unis, U. Unité d'échange universel. Unité, U pour unité, échange pour E pour échange, puis U pour unité, ça. UI, un UI, en anglais c'est pareil. UI, en français c'est UI. Unité échange universel. Unité échange universel. Donc, on va faire toute cette unité d'échange universel et ça va être basé sur le dollar américain, préférence biométrique. Par la main, les yeux, puis la voix, c'est des biométriques exacts, puis ça peut être digital, biométrique, ainsi que comme qu'on avait avant, puis comme qu'on a maintenant, les monnaies, puis ça a été égal aux États-Unis, UI. La création de l'unité échange universel. La création de l'unité d'échange universel par la théorie de la révision de la dette comme solution au problème des finances publiques qui se passe maintenant, ainsi que bien sûr pour le partenariat public-privé, puis bien sûr comme solution pour les finances du monde, les finances du globe. Ben, je parle d'un point de vue nord-américain, là. C'est sûr, parce que je suis citoyen du monde, je sais, mais fondamentalement, c'est ici, l'île de Montréal que je connais. Même je suis éduqué, puis lu des livres, puis éduqué, j'ai eu mes propres souffrances, puis en tant que YouTuber, mais je travaille avec un ordinateur portable, mais si quelqu'un veut me financer, je descends puis je monte 300 fois. En chantant du rock&roll pour les blablabla, en chantant du rock&roll 300 fois sur ces escaliers, bien sûr, en chantant du rock&roll 300 fois sur ces escaliers, je peux aller puis monter, puis descendre, puis bien sûr chanter 300 fois en haut puis en bas pour $300. Chaque million que je fais, je vais donner la moitié à ma soeur anonyme. Chaque million que je fais, je vais donner la moitié à ma soeur anonyme, puis chaque milliard que je fais, je vais donner à ma soeur anonyme. Marque de cheval. Fais attention, il a la marque de cheval, direct là. Ouais, merci. There's dog, it's a horse poop. Horse poop. Gotta watch for that horse poop. Anyways, so that is the rock and roll song which we gotta do. And it's overtime every time, and we gotta get that drill, you know. So it's super important to get that drill. So we're gonna stay fit, exercise, faire l'exercice, to get those benches, man. Fait que la solution, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la théorie de la refusion de la dette pour la solution pour qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant au point de vue de la situation actuelle. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution, puis c'est la solution pour l'enfant, puis c'est la solution qu'il faut faire l'implémentation. Implémenter la solution de la théorie de la dette, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, puis encourager, financer les infrastructures, le développement de l'infrastructure publique, bien sûr, puis que ça fasse un développement de l'infrastructure publique, On a des ponts à reconstruire, des ponts. Ici, vous voyez, ça fait partie de l'infrastructure publique, ça. Je dois donner une salutation parce que je pense qu'il va y avoir de l'eau qui va couler, là. Puis je trouve ça beau avec des roches. Ouf, à boire avec des roches ici. Ça, c'est tout ceux qui l'ont fait, hein? C'est du travail qu'il faut faire. Fait que ça a fait du bien. Puis... Anyways. Fait que ça, c'est quand même des belles roches qui ont été mises là-bas. Puis ici, ça a été un beau couloir. Fait que ça, c'est l'entraînement physique. Anyways, this is a nice infrastructure here that's gonna be built. And avec ça, avec la théorie de la révision de la dette, on va pouvoir faire bien d'autres solutions. Puis on va pouvoir rebasser bien sûr bien de l'infrastructure. Puis l'infrastructure, on a bien dû pouvoir construire d'autres ponts, des aqueducs. Et bien sûr d'autres ponts, puis des aqueducs qu'on va en faire bien sûr. Comme celui qui a été fait. Puis on va mettre d'autres parcs publics, on va mettre pour les jeunes d'autres. Ça va faire beaucoup de bien. Fait que tout l'argent initial, ça a fondé la nouvelle banque, la théorie de la révision de la dette, toute la dette publique-privée, faire une conversion, ramasser puis faire toute cette dette-là, publique-privée, ça va être l'argent initial d'une nouvelle banque. Avec ça, on va bien sûr faire de l'argent initial, puis on va fonder une nouvelle banque, puis la reconstruction ici. Du collectif de Civilisation dans Americain, on a commencé ici sur la montagne. Ça a fait un beau arbre qui vient de tomber. C'est un beau arbre qui vient de tomber. Que ça fasse. Et bien, blablabla. C'est ça, théorie, l'implémentation de ma théorie de la refusion de la dette. Puis, les gens qui se tiennent par la main, j'aime ça. People holding hands, that's what I like. Gonna go get a little bit of more hydration and discard this because it's gotta go in the garbage. See, I'm glad I went by there and when I get to pick it up and a little bit like that and super nice a little bit, so gotta get a little bit of that. See, this is a bit reddish, kind of. See, wow, it's kind of reddish, isn't it? C'est quand même rouge. You see what is it? A little bit of that. 433 comme ça. Ouais, it's nice and red. See, Charlotte's grabbing it. See? Why do you see them? Yeah. Yes. Feels on that good, man. Ça fait du bien. Let's finish up right there with a little bit of that dance, you know, so. Gotta go throw this to the garbage somewhere right here. Gonna go get that hydrate again. On va s'hydrater encore une fois. Gonna get it for the hydrate, you know, so. Once again I come where I know that the echo gonna swing for that, let's go, love it. Oh, les gros que ça fasse, hey. I know this has to be discarded. Trash. Merci, thank you. On va pouvoir boire de l'eau propre.
Ah, là pour ça, monsieur, hein?
Mais j'apprécie ça. Wish you danced like this. Wish. Wish you danced like that. Wish. Et voilà, here we are. Wish. Get ready. A 44-minute dance. Oh, we're gonna go dance right there. Oh yeah. Right here. There we go, right there in the sun. Yeah. I'll get it for that dance. World War III dance, baby. That nuclear weaponry, man. Shit ain't a joke. Make love while you still can tonight. And I owe nobody nothing, not a zero. Priestess of the goddess, motherfucker. G-O-D-D-S, stay away from me. G-O-D-D-S-S, priestess of the goddess. Keep your gossip far away from me, yo. Keep your gossip far away from me, ho. I owe you nada, nothing, zero. Zero. Keep your gossip far away from me, ho. Owe you nada, zero, nothing, zilcho. got it okay for the movie. Little dance. C'est un peu. I got a message that we're on for that movie. Movie night. 6:30, so I gotta be off. My anonymous sister friend, but if not, I would have danced some more. But I spoke this morning and wasn't sure, so that's gonna get for that. So that's about it. Rock and roll. Oh, dance, danse, danse. T'es finalisé. Parce que j'ai eu le message texte. On est dû pour le film à 6h30. 6h30, fait que j'avais confirmé depuis hier matin, j'attendais la confirmation. Confirmation, so. So we're gonna go back west, 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 and I'm gonna take the shortest route to be there on time. Je vais prendre la route la plus rapide, l'ouest, west, west. So that's where we're gonna go head it up. Ah, somebody smoking that good legal. Quelqu'un qui fume du bon légal. Probably legal, but I guess it's legal now in Canada, cannabis. And I like to smell it when passerby smoke. Not that much when I'm working out like now, but I don't mind it. I like the smell. I even have joints, like six or five now. I haven't smoked in a while. Maybe this weekend. That's it. That's it. C'est samedi, Sabbath. It's coming Saturday. Launch my rock and roll song. Launch that rock and roll. Big engines. What am I driving? I'm driving new boots. Qu'est-ce que je conduis? Je conduis des nouvelles bottes. A little bit of that noise, man. Don't pollute too much, please. Polluez pas. Faites pas tant de pollution, s'il vous plaît. So we're already on that march a little bit. Gotta march more to get back, you know. Plus de marche jusqu'à faire de retour. Mais here it is, got that parking spot right there. And sounds like a good engine on that big motorcycle. La motocyclette, je pense. These stairs are clearing up from the snow. Il commence à avoir moins de neige et puis de glace. So I gotta get a little bit of that dance. Gotta get it for that dance. I wonder what all these are. See? Kind of artsy, but vraiment c'est cool. They need a little bit of color, you know? Ils ont besoin de peu de couleur quand même. Anyways, driving it back. He's not gonna get a look good, son. Je vais avoir du bon soleil pour le retour à ma grotte. Bas soleil pour le retour à ma grotte. For sure. Gonna get that good, son. What time it is? It's exactly 5. Exactly 5. So I might have to do a little bit of that jog. Peut-être faire un peu de jogging pour y arriver à l'heure. I have to do a little bit of that jog or high pace because the movie starts, so I gotta get back by 6:15. 6:15, wash my feet, get ready. Laver mes jambes, mes pieds, puis je fais le tour jusqu'à 6h15. Mais la route que je vais prendre, c'est une route plus rapide. It's a faster paced route. I'm good for that jog, see? Like people seeing jogging here and getting on that exercise. And super important. People staying fit, faites de l'exercice, j'encourage. I like it when I see people getting that fitness. It's an investment. It's an investment in the body, you know. Un investissement dans le corps. Puis... Ça doit être où j'ai perdu. Put it lost and found. Lost and found is over there and over there. So we got 2 lost and founds. And bring it to that lost and found, you know. So people taking care of that. We got 2 spots, 2 places, and we gotta get for that 2 places and gotta get it for that X and for that Y. So we drive, you know. So it's a good fit, you know. Just the fresh air coming from these. Super. L'air frais venant de ça, bien. C'est super ça. C'est super, super, super. C'est super ça. Fresh air, man. L'air frais, that's not fresh. So we're heading back now, drill, and getting on those toes. We're gonna probably step it up. Look at that little squirrel eating and chewing. Got plenty of that food, don't worry. I like it, squirrel. I am not your enemy. I love you. That's why I do a lot of cleaning here for you. So you don't have to chew on garbage, which has to be disposed properly. So it's always a little XYZ. And gonna go through here. Gonna go cut it by that side, so it's always. It was a good workout, and already I had prior to I started earlier, but it was more than an hour, 40 minutes when I started the video, you know. J'étais déjà quand même plus qu'une heure et 40 quand j'ai commencé la vidéo, mais. Et... Muddy, got muddy. J'ai rentré dans la boue un peu. Un peu. Wow, look at those mushrooms, man. So, gonna go through here, but can I be able to slide by that side? Maybe, maybe not. So, that's what it is. Wow, is that a groundhog? Wow, maybe not. Anyways. Anyways, we gotta head back, so see you groundhogs next time. Je vous vois les marmottes la prochaine fois. maybe tomorrow even, you know, so peut-être demain parce que je viens souvent ici. I come often here, but it's the rock and roll style. Rock and roll for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, 24/7. Du rock and roll pour les bouchers, 24/24 pour les infirmières, les camionneurs, puis les pompiers aussi. Gotta tie my belt, man. Tie my belt a little bit. Juste attacher ma ceinture, là. Tie my belt. Again, before I head back. Cut. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna give up by this side, so. And there we're gonna change gears, switch, and up we go. Exit. Going through the mountain, man. I think I got a pebble. Left foot. Go check that pebble out, because if I jog with it, it's gonna be uncomfortable. So the best way for me is to just remove it where the bench is. So here we are about to exit. So that's about it for today. See, rien tout pour aujourd'hui, and besides, there's not like it's a lot left. So usually it's a full 3 hours because that's what the video allows. C'est à peu près 3 heures. C'est 3 heures maximum que la vidéo laisse, mais aujourd'hui ça va être just a little less. Not by much, but it's still overtime every time. C'est encore un temps supplémentaire. And keep in mind that from here to my place, I still got about 7.7 kilometers, about an hour 15 minutes, an hour 10 minutes. Tenez en compte que d'ici jusqu'à chez nous, c'est encore 7.7 km. Puis la route que je vais prendre, ça va être la moins courte. Fait que ça va être à peu près entre 50 minutes et 75 minutes. So the route that I'm going to take is going to be between 50 minutes and 75 minutes. So it's going to be the shortest route. Shortest route. So let's get it for that pebble. Let's see what we're working with here. Pebble. It got really muddy. Shoes got really muddy, so it's in my left foot. Oh, pebbles, 7 pebbles. Il y avait quand même plusieurs petits morceaux de pierre qui étaient rentrés, fait que si j'aurais été chez nous avec ça. When I want to finance, I go 300 times up and down, and you know, cross and forth. Grateful, thankful, rents paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, la gratitude, du café, du thé, puis actually, I'm just gonna keep this. It's not that cold. It's not that cold, so I'm gonna take the pebble out and I'm gonna go for the jog. I decided that I'm gonna film the whole thing anyways, and yeah, so it's good jogging. I'm gonna go jog 11 minutes of jogging, 11 minutes de jogging. my fellow citizens are doing good for you. So I gotta get back to headquarters. Although temperature dropped a bit, la température a baissé un peu. On va faire un peu de jogging. A little bit of slow pace jogging. Jogging un peu. I'm gonna remove the glasses. I'm not gonna wear the glasses. Here we can build some supercomputers. Ici on va pouvoir faire des super ordinateurs. Connected with satellites, avec des satellites connectés, puis go cyber defense, go cyber security, go public cyber security, go. La cybersécurité publique. Aujourd'hui, cette marche est dédiée à la cybersécurité de l'Amérique du Nord. Du Collectif de Civilisation Americain for the public and private for that matter, because I guess in this case we're kind of interlinked, eh? Because there's a private-public partnership in the internet. What is the internet anyways? C'est quoi l'internet? Man, that's a good question. It's really computers connected, right? C'est des ordinateurs qui sont reliés par d'autres ordinateurs and by underground cables, right? We got underground cables that we don't really conscious about. On n'est pas vraiment conscient des câbles souterrains. My fellow citizen jogging, good for you. Get that jog, and I gotta wait here for the light. And always important to get that feel for what's happening now across North America, across the public-private partnership, and across the civilization, and of course to get that LOV. And super important to get to be grateful. Like gratitude, super important. I see the young, happy running, but I'm watching for them. The eyes of a hawk, so that they're safely crossing the street there, and is at the intersection. And I'm always on the look, for the citizens and for my fellow citizens when they cross the street. And I always got to take that prudence and caution because I'm in the public and I got to turn my head left and right. Je dois quand même tourner ma tête de la gauche à droite. Et bien sûr, pour leur faire, bien sûr, fasse attention quand ils traversent la rue. Parce que quand que je sens en public, j'ai bien sûr d'autres responsabilités. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations which I would have not had under the normal circumstance. I love my youth. My children dance free, safely. Que mes enfants dansent libres, puis en sécurité. That's what I want for the youth, My joy, their joy. But I'm joyous when I see the youth joyous, Je suis quand même joyeux quand je vois les jeunes joyeux. Ça m'amène de la joie personnellement. It brings me joy, Brings me joy. Wow, look at those twins, man. Got twins.
I don't know, but it's either walk down
So see here, I got to cross, check, turn my head left and right before I cross the street. Because you never know, the brakes might malfunction and the citizen driver might press the accelerator instead of the brake. Fait que le citoyen, c'est possible que ça pèse sur l'accélérateur à la place de peser sur le frein. C'est possible que le frein fonctionne mal. So I always gotta check. Je dois toujours regarder. I always gotta check. When I cross the street for prudence, right? Because we've got public-private partnership and it's not all about safety, and it's not all about liberty. You gotta be balance in harmony, in equilibrium. Ça doit être balance en équilibre, puis en harmonie, and we gotta work together, you know. So we gotta get it on the go, and I'm always happy when I see youth, like fresh fawns, you know. Gotta salute the youth, man. On va saluer la jeunesse. Montreal Island, big city. 2.5 million people, il y a 2.5 millions de personnes, tu sais. Faut toujours, je pense, eux autres, always gotta think about them. And see here, we got bus 66 on the boulevard, on a le bus 66. And we gotta think it for them, you know, and get it for that, you know. So, I know. And again, if I know somebody who deserves to live in houses like this here, in Westmount, my anonymous is the friend greatest woman I know. Et encore une fois, si je connais quelqu'un qui mérite d'habiter dans des maisons comme ça, mais c'est ma soeur anonyme, and it's 5:17, so I got a bit on the speedy up, but I'm just gonna jog after this video is done, the Concordia mode de vidéo, et commencer à jogger, faire du jogging après que cette vidéo est finie de 3 heures. I usually do 3 hours because that's the maximum. So, but of course, sometimes it's more workouts that you don't see. Like behind the scenes, I give it to you raw. I'm the rawest, unedited YouTuber. You know, le plus cru YouTuber en ligne. Nobody sees, and only one view sometimes. Juste des fois une personne qui regarde. Mais that's okay. I did. Oh, 44. It turns red. I'm talking about the indicator of the speed. 30 is good. It went to 44, it turns red. Because, 46. When it goes after 40, it goes red. Ça tourne après 40, ça tourne rouge. Fait que ça dit que vous devez, bien sûr, ne pas continuer à peser sur l'accélérateur, puis ralentir quand ça tourne. C'est une bonne affaire, je trouve, sur la route, parce que ça nous indique. It indicates that it's, of course, a good thing. So we gotta get that indication. Right? So we also gotta be prudent, you know, when we cross the street. So that's what it says there. It indicates that, of course, it's too high. So when you go past 40, it turns red. Quand vous continuez après 40, ça commence à se tourner rouge. Puis là, ça baisse jaune, puis là, ça vert. It goes from yellow to green. It goes from yellow to green. $45 now, see? It's 45. 45, 43. Vous voyez, 36, c'est trop déjà. 36. But before it was even higher. It was 44. Là, c'est 44 and 45. 45, trop. Fait que ça commence à dire, ça commence à être rouge. Ça indique. C'est une bonne affaire. I think it's a good thing. I actually think that, see, 39 is too high. It's red, you gotta slow down. Ralentir, it's in front, you gotta slow down. So that's basically what that is. And I think it's a good idea. We got several here on the boulevard. On a plusieurs ici. Sur le boulevard, il y en a plusieurs. There's a few. You know, so I think it's a good thing. Anyways, My anonymous sister friend deserves to have 7 houses on this street, the boulevard. Deserves to be 7 times richer than Beyoncé. Ma soeur anonyme, elle mérite d'être 7 fois le chiffre après 6 c'est 7 avant 8. Elle mérite d'habiter dans une maison comme ça, puis ainsi qu'avoir 7, le chiffre après 6 avant 8. C'est 7 maisons ici sur la rue, le boulevard here on Westmount. Hey, le corbeau, il dit oui. The crow says yes. I got 45 seconds left. Quand c'est un grateful, thankful today, march. So I march for cybersecurity, rent's paid, electricity bills paid. Got food and coffee, que je marche pour la cybersécurité. Aujourd'hui, ben, j'ai du café, j'ai du thé, puis bien sûr, j'ai payé mon loyer, ma facture d'électricité. Make love tonight with consent. Don't mind my rock and roll raw sometimes. Fait pas mon rock and roll des fois est direct and philosophical and gotta get it on that center, the support the dream, the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom, blah blah blah. Public private partnership, soutenir la rêve, la déesse qui danse le petit dragon, blah blah blah. And I got the sun going all the way to headquarters, so I'm happy. My Pope the King, the sun. Mon pape le soleil va briller jusqu'à quand je serai de retour chez nous, puis regarder un film and get back to business, open for business, support this Aspie artist, and then I'll just